hello. I think we may be live. Oh, there we go. Whoops. All right, let's get this shared on the yes. Good. Fuck, I'm burning up. Holy shit. Right, 1 second here. Let us. Let's get the thing up. Okay. See if we can do this without getting any dumb bullshit playing in the background. There we go. Good. All right, I think I've got everything ready to go. Sweet. Hello, Arfdark. Aardvark. I read it as Aardvark. Wow. There's nobody on the YouTube. What's going on? Hold up. Is it just a bad time? Ah, fuck, dude. So how come when I look at the YouTube page, I don't see it? Hey, that's really weird. So what's up with this? When I go to the YouTube page, it doesn't show up. My stream doesn't show up. Usually does. It's usually right at the top. What's going on? Doesn't say I'm streaming on YouTube. That's really strange. I have the when I open the YouTube player, it says I'm live. What the fuck is going on? What's happening here? Am I gonna have to like restart the stream? Privacy unlisted? Let me check. That would be so stupid. Why would it default to that? Yeah, privacy unlisted. Oh my god. Thank you, Arfdark. Well, I fixed it. I think we're live now. What the fuck? Well, I'm not streaming directly to YouTube. I'm streaming through a restream website. All right, now let's try that again. Yep, there it is. Now it shows up. Oh, what am I doing? What is even my life? Oh god, hold on a second. Someone sent me a message. Hold up. Okay. Well, we got it fixed. All right. We'll walk away from the computer for a moment. I'm gonna be right back, and then we'll get started on this PRAGERU thing. Because, holy fuck, I am losing my mind. Okay. Let me pull this up before I walk away, so it's all ready to go. Should have had it ready before stream, Zach. All right. Good. Okay, good. Be right back, everyone. Whoops. My mic wasn't on. I said good morning, Lorelei. Hello, welcome to the party. And I asked, did you get a notification for the stream or not? Because I may have fucked up when I started this stream. Happens. Mic muted. Thanks for telling me a minute later after the fact. That's okay. I got it. I may have fucked up when I started the stream because apparently it was unlisted for some goddamn reason. I don't know why that would be a fucking default option. But it was. Okay. Before we get started here. Alright, I don't have anything immediate else to cover. So we're just gonna get going into the PRAGERU video. How's that? Yeah? Okay. Say hello to the YouTube video. So within the last 2 weeks, you guys all know the Israel-Palestine conflict kicked up a bit. Okay, yeah. Within this time, I can't even get the words out right. Within this time frame, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu retweeted this. Israeli Defense Force is the world's most moral army via PRAGERU. What the fuck? Did he just upload the whole fucking video to Twitter? I guess he did. Oh my god. I don't want to scroll down. We're gonna find... Hold on. I don't want to scroll down because we're probably gonna find like dead bodies. We don't want to do that. Anyway, so this is why I do PragerU content. Alright, let's take a look at the video, I guess. We're not gonna watch it on Twitter because Twitter's video player is poop. PragerU. Free videos, free minds. But Prager, I was under the impression that nothing was free. Curious. Alright, Israel, the world's most moral army. Let's take a look. Actually, hold up. And within the thumbnail here, we have... let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see if we can pull up a larger image of the thumbnail. Ah, there we are. The world's most moral army. God, I hate these people. So here's a big pregnant lady with a baby stroller, and there's a guy right behind her firing a rocket launcher. I know that's supposed to be like, you know, it's a green shirt. It's supposed to be like a Palestine flag or whatever, but it looks like a Christmas sweater. And then this guy, Israel. The Israel soldier standing in front of the kids playing with the balls. Yeah, alright. I hate these people. I hate these people so much. My god. Well, let's take a look at the video.
Want to help your community but not sure how?
Absolutely not.
The answer lies...
I hate my community. Oh, we don't get a Prager. Hold on. December 2015. Okay. Colonel Richard Kemp, who was the commander of the British forces in Afghanistan. Alright, sure. We don't get like a PragerU introduction. We just get the video. Alright, fine. Let's go.
There are two views of the Israeli military. What you hear in most of the media and the truth.
Okay. Unironically, or ironically, I would say this is true. Because the media is very kind to the Israeli military. Probably undeservedly so. But, you know, manufacturing consent and all that. We're going to be stuck with PragerU propaganda being spread for years, aren't we? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's been... That's why we do this on this channel.
I'm going to tell you the truth.
I have a feeling he's not going to tell us the truth. Just a hunch. Just here's my evidence. The Prager University. When that's in the video, it's usually not telling me the truth. No, I do not invest in Bitcoin. I invest in murder. Okay.
Was the commander of British forces in Afghanistan. I have fought in combat zones around the world, including Northern Ireland, Bosnia, Macedonia, and Iraq.
What is he doing in Macedonia?
Around the world, including Northern Ireland, Bosnia.
Wait,
I have fought in combat zones around the world, including Northern Ireland, Bosnia, Macedonia, and Iraq.
So he was fighting in combat zones in Northern Ireland and Macedonia? I don't know if that makes you the good guy.
I was
This is not the TikToker. We're getting to him. He'll be after this.
also present throughout the conflict in Gaza in 2014.
Ah,
Based on my
it's
experience
all on fire.
and on my observations, the Israel Defense Force, the IDF, does more to safeguard the rights of civilians in a combat zone than any other army in the history of warfare.
Oh boy, this is gonna age very poorly by the end of the video. Alright, so I guess Netanyahu just was like, I gotta find some defense for the ethnic cleansing we're doing. Oh look, there's a PRAGERU video. Well, I'll just use that. They look legitimate.
Why is this so? Firstly, Israel is a decent country with Western values run on democratic principles.
Oh God.
A decent country with Western values run on democratic principles.
Okay, the text is moving too fast. Notice that like none of these are these are pretty much all subjective claims. Decent country? What's a decent country? Western values? What are Western values? It's code word for white. Let's be real. Democratic principles?
Democratic principles.
Well, maybe you could argue that if you have elections, but then again, Netanyahu's been prime minister for like, what, 15 years? Is that really a democracy at that point? Doubt. I'm going with doubt.
Israel has no
Coca-Cola's Western values. There you go.
with Western values run on democratic principles.
Israel, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of hung up on the Israel is a decent country. Like, how could you say a sentence like that and like take yourself seriously? Like most people would say like, oh, this country's decent. Most people across the world would say their country is decent, but they could improve it in various ways. Like, I bet you if we took a survey of everyone in North Korea, they'd say the same thing.
Run on democratic principles. Israel has no more interest in war than Belgium does.
That's the example he's gonna give? All right. I wouldn't give that one if I were you. Hold on 1 second. Oh, man. Okay, well. Atrocities in the Congo Free State. In the period of 1885 to 1908, many well-documented atrocities were perpetrated in the Congo Free State, today Democratic Republic of the Congo, which at the time was a colony under the personal rule of King Leopold II of the Belgians. Okay, we have the Belgian colonial empire in that whole region there. Got the Belgian Congo. Okay, guy. All right, guy. I know why he's saying this, though. Hold on. Now, he's saying this because when you pull up a map, Belgium is this region right here, sandwiched in between France and Germany and the Netherlands. And you think and say, oh, that's like a nice Western, Northern European country. It's white. It must be it's a nice place to live. It's a nice country. There's nothing, they don't go to war. There's nothing wrong with them. That's why. Okay.
In fact, Israel has never started a war. The only reason it ever goes to war is to defend itself.
Okay, that's also not true. I've mentioned this a couple times before. Suez Crisis. or the Second Arab-Israeli War was an oh God, was an invasion of Egypt in late 1956 by Israel. Followed by the United Kingdom and France. The aims were to regain control of the Suez Canal for the Western powers and to remove the Egyptian president, Nasser, who had just nationalized the canal. After the fighting had started, political pressure from the United States, the Soviet Union, and the United Nations. You never hear a trifecta of those three coming together. Led to a withdrawal by the three invaders. The episode humiliated the United Kingdom and France and strengthened Nasser. Good job, Israel. Not only did Israel start this fucking war, they let it. It brought upon them widespread condemnation from the US, the USSR, and the UN. How often have you heard of a country doing something, getting all three of them at the same time coming down on you? Just the US and the USSR alone condemning you at the same time is impressive. You have to impressively fuck up to get both of them on your back like that. Amazing. Oh, but trust me, I'm PRAGERU. Israel's never started a war. Maybe he would say it wasn't a war, it was just a conflict, which I would say that's bullshit. Maybe he would say, we didn't start the war because Egypt invaded Israel, a decade prior. That's bullshit too.
And it has to
But he's not going to mention any of that, I guess.
The only reason it ever goes to war is to defend itself. And it has to defend itself because, unlike Belgium, it is surrounded by countries and armed groups that want to destroy it.
Brown people. He means brown people. And, I mean, let's just be honest here. This country only exists because the UK kind of just kind of claimed it and started shipping people there. Okay, they say this a few times, but I don't really believe that in the current world of current geopolitics today, I really don't believe that these neighboring countries around Israel have any interest in invading Israel anymore. At the start, yeah, but that's 80 years ago.
Secondly,
okay, doesn't give any more acknowledgement for it. Yeah, okay, that's very convenient, I notice.
And armed groups that want to destroy it. Secondly, Judaism, with its unsurpassed moral standards.
It's fucking glowing. Oh God.
Secondly,
hold on.
Judaism, with its unsurpassed moral standards, remains a major influence on the citizens of Israel.
How fucking... That's fucking... Judaism with its unsurpassed moral standards. What? Again, that's another highly subjective claim, and actually, that's a thing that like 90% of people in the world clearly disagree with, considering most people are not Jews. I mean,
I say this as a non-Jew.
I say this as a cuck. Look at this. Oh, this face. I love this face. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Jew. Thirdly...
Oh, can I not say that on Twitch? No, I can... You can't say simp on Twitch. I just said simp on Twitch. Okay, whatever. Nobody cares about me.
The army is composed overwhelmingly of citizen soldiers. Israel's a small country with a small professional army.
What? Oh, we have a volunteer army, therefore we're moral? I don't think it works like that, dude.
To fight a war, it depends on its conscripts and its reservists. These are ordinary citizens, from professors to plumbers.
Actually, hold up. No, this is not moral, because... Let's go through that again.
Due. Thirdly, the army is composed overwhelmingly of citizen soldiers.
I just realized, like, how fucking stupid that sentence he said is. So, I don't know if y'all knew this, but, military service in Israel is mandatory for everyone. For all Israeli citizens over the age of 18. Yeah. So, you can't really see it with the chat. Yeah. Hold up. There we go. National military service is mandatory for all Israeli citizens over the age of 18. Although Arab, but not Druze citizens are exempted if they so please. Other exceptions may be made on religious, physical, or psychological grounds. But ultimately, this means the vast majority of Israeli citizens serve in the IDF, serve in the Israeli military. So like, don't fucking tell me your army is moral if you literally fucking force people to fight in your army, dude. Holy shit. The United States got rid of that a long time ago because it caused some major fucking problems. Yeah, during the Vietnam War, when the United States just invaded Israel. No, when we invaded Vietnam, we still had the draft back then. Not everyone had to serve in the military, but it was like a kind of a randomly selected thing. And during the Vietnam War, like, morale was so low. A lot of soldiers who were like drafted were just like, I'm not gonna fucking fight. You know, I'm not gonna run away because, you know, that's a crime. It's a crime to like get drafted and like abandon it. It's called desertion. But a lot of them were like, well, I'm not gonna fucking fight the Viet Cong. And there's interviews of soldiers just sitting there. They're sitting there smoking, and they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight. Fuck this. This whole thing is wrong. And not only that, there's stories of like morale being so low that just randomly, United States soldiers just randomly fucking kill their commanding officer. Drop a grenade in their tent. Who did it? I don't know. No one's gonna rat the guy out. Nobody. Maybe if they even noticed, because as it turns out, when you're fighting a war, most people don't want to fight, and you're forcing people who don't want to fight the war, who don't want to fight at all, to go there. Yeah. It turns out it has really, really negative effects on the efficiency of your armed forces. And anyway, I guess, yeah. So we learned that lesson pretty harshly. We had to leave Vietnam, and as a result of all that, Nixon, a Republican president, abolished the draft in the United States. Holy shit, I didn't know any of that. Oh man, I'm just scratching the surface. It was really bad. Well, we can just put it simply and leave it at that. It was horrible. There's plenty of videos of, yeah. I just seeing, in my mind, I could still picture just seeing the soldiers smoking. Their guns are just over there, laying on the ground. They're not even close to them. And they're like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. Cause it's like, they got fucking drafted for it. They don't want to fight. It's a war that's clearly wrong. It's not their country. Why should they fucking care? The state of Vietnam poses no threat to the United States. Why would people fucking care for it? Anyway, yeah. So we got rid of the draft because of that. Israel demands it of all of its citizens. Maybe it's... Yeah. Let's go.
Israel's a small country with a small professional army. To fight a war, it depends on its conscripts and its reservists.
Hold on a second. Doesn't the term professional army have like a... Isn't there an actual definition? Or is he just saying that to sound good? Yeah, it's just like the training of people. Okay. Fine, let's go.
These are ordinary...
Because of the fear of communism, that's why. Yeah. But then people go... But then all these people, all those soldiers would go to Vietnam and then they're like... I ain't afraid of this. This is bullshit.
These are ordinary citizens, from professors to plumbers, called upon to defend their homes.
Okay, I know he's trying to phrase this to make it sound like he's trying to frame this to make it sound like it's a moral thing, but it's like, no. Look.
These are ordinary citizens, from professors to plumbers, called upon to defend their homes.
Professor, this isn't, you're making professors and plumbers fucking fight for your military. Maybe this is because I'm an American, I have a very strong bias now. This is not a moral thing, forcing people to fight for your military. Didn't he say they were volunteers? No, I misheard him. He didn't say that. He said they were, I forget the word he used. This one.
Thirdly, the army is composed overwhelmingly of citizen soldiers.
Not volunteers, citizen soldiers. Which is just a fancy way of saying they force all Israeli citizens to fight in the army.
Upon to defend their homes.
Oh yeah, okay. Also, the forcing of professors and plumbers to fight in your military, this is actually a big reason why the United States fought our Revolutionary War. If you know that. I don't know. Hey, bit of a history lesson for you guys. Back before the revolution. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Navy of Great Britain did this thing called impressment. Colloquially known as the press or press gang, is the taking of men into a military or naval force by compulsion, with or without notice. European navies of several nations used forced recruitment by various means. Hold on, I want to look at the pictures of this, because this is fucking awful. This was a thing that, like, they would do to American colonies. Look, they're taking the guys, taking them away. They would just, like, fucking show up and grab people and take them on the ship. And it's like, well, now you work for us. Now you work for the British Navy. And in the United States, eventually people were like, we don't want to fucking do this. It's also a reason for... Hold on, I can't actually read it. It's also a reason the War of 1812 happened. Yeah, that was a contributing factor to the War of 1812. That's correct. This was... Because, you know, like... During the Revolutionary War, like, oh, taxation without representation is one thing, but how many, like, individual random people did that really affect? Not a whole lot. That affected the larger people. That affected business owners, which had some sway. But, oh, the British Navy is gonna fucking show up, steal your husband, steal your sons, and fucking throw them into the Navy? Against their will? And this could happen to you. This could happen to any of us. Oh yeah, this is... Let's fight a revolution to get these fucking tea drinkers off our backs. Yep. All right, let's go. So when this guy comes up here, so when a British guy, by the way, comes on here to say, oh, actually, when Israel makes your professors and plumbers fight in the military, they don't have a say in it. But when we make them fight in the military, it's actually a good thing. It's actually really moral. This is reprehensible to me. I think to most Americans, we would object to this strongly.
Called upon to defend their homes.
And he phrases it as, called upon to defend your homes. We're calling upon you to defend the Queen and country. I guess during the time of the Revolutionary War, it was the king, but...
They don't want to be fighting, and they don't want to harm others.
You're right.
Nowhere was the essential morality...
Why'd you put him in the fucking military, dude? It's not you. I know, you're not Israel, but... Come on, what the fuck?
...of the IDF more evident than in the Gaza war of 2014.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Let's hear that sentence again, because this is so stupid. Imagine going to school and you see your teacher was forced to join the army. You know, I had a professor in college who, like, lived in Ukraine, like, during the Soviet Union. And she talked a little bit about it. And just what you described there just kind of seems like, yeah, just kind of reminds me of like a professor talking about, oh yeah, it was fucking horrible. They made me join the military. My professor was at Chernobyl, or not at Chernobyl, but like in the exclusion zone. That was a fun story to hear. She was like a little kid, but still.
Nowhere was the essential...
Oh, hold on. Not much different from U.S. teachers allowed to hold guns.
And they don't want to harm others.
I didn't even notice that. Look at this. War is bad. Now I'm gonna go execute Johnny because he's starting shit.
Nowhere was the essential morality and decency of the IDF more evident than in the Gaza war of 2014.
Now, what's so horrible about this is there's been so much conflict between Israel and Palestine that I don't actually know what happened in 2014 specifically. Although I like that when I Google 2014 Gaza war, I don't see any dead bodies. Okay. When I Google 2014 Gaza war, the first stuff that shows up is fucking smoke. Oh, wow. First thing here. BBC. Israeli 2014 Gaza war actions lawful. Yeah, all right. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, dude. You know, somehow I just have like a gut reaction to this. Somehow when I see big pictures of like giant apartment buildings that are like 10 stories tall, like on fire and collapsing, this doesn't give the impression of moral actions taken by a military. This is horrifying. This is not what I would call... Yeah. This is fucked up. Just imagining this happening here. Like, just someone fucking bombing apartment buildings here. Some military fucking bombing downtown Phoenix. Like, if that happened here, I'd probably be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go to war with you. Fuck you.
If ever there was a purely defensive war, this was it.
That's why we had to fucking level all these apartment buildings, dude.
The war was started by Hamas, the terror organization, designated as such by the US State Department that runs the Gaza Strip.
You think maybe it might have been started by taking the land from all these people and crushing them all into this tiny little zone and forcing them to live there in what is essentially an open air concentration camp, taking all their water, blocking all their imports, taking their houses, not allowing crops to live, and they essentially are all living under the heel of the IDF and Israeli police, but they don't even get a vote in their elections. You think that might have something to do with it? Cause like the conditions there are a hell of a lot worse than what we in America had to go under. And we fucking fought a war over it. So when you put it like that, it kind of makes any conflict initiated from these guys seem kind of justified, doesn't it?
In the first 6 months of 2014, Hamas
Look at Venezuela.
Darth Vader just subscribed. Don't do it again. Last time this happened, there was like 30 notifications. Okay, it's not happening. Yes. Don't forget the blockade in the ports of Gaza. Oh yeah, all imports blocked. Does that sound moral to you? 85% of the water that of the water pumped out from the wells in Gaza goes to Israel. Gaza doesn't get it. Not only that, they fucking bomb the wells. Israel bombs the wells and bombs the desalinization plants. We're gonna take a screenshot of that face right there. That's a good face. All right.
Hundreds of rockets at Israeli civilians. After repeated warnings from
hundreds of rockets at Israeli civilians. Yeah, that's true. Although, the way he framed that made it seem like Hamas was actually aiming at something. I think they were just kind of firing rockets blindly. Whatever they could fucking make. Most of them don't even work right.
Israel to stop. The Israeli Air Force finally conducted precision strikes to halt the
precision strikes. So fucking slimy, dude.
Rocket fire. And the IDF advanced into Gaza to destroy a network of terror tunnels that Hamas had constructed to
terror tunnels
to attack Israeli communities near the Gaza border.
I don't even know what this. Oh man, those Hamas people, they crawl into the ground and they jump up in your homes like termites.
The IDF took extraordinary measures to give Gaza civilians notice of targeted areas.
I mean, I'm sure that, that's nice. I wouldn't call it extraordinary. It's like you get an hour ahead of time. I wouldn't call that extraordinary. And, it's nice to give warning, but like, it doesn't really mean much when you blow up the only fucking hospital in the Gaza Strip. It doesn't really mean much when my apartment building is fucking leveled and now you just made a few hundred people homeless. This doesn't help any.
Dropping millions of leaflets, broadcasting radio messages, sending texts,
I'm sure,
and making tens of thousands of phone calls. Let me repeat that.
This is such a weird justification. Just imagine if I called you right now, like, hey, yeah. Hey, what's up? Hey, yeah, hi, how you doing? I'm gonna bomb your house in 30 minutes. You better get out of there. That would make me a terrorist. Just something to think about.
The Israelis called Gazans on their cell phones and told them to leave their residences and move to safety. Never in the history of warfare has an army phoned its enemy and told them where they're going to drop their bombs.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it's... he's trying to make it sound like it's some new progressive thing, but it's you're essentially just kicking a population that can't even do anything. Like what?
Many IDF missions that could have taken out Hamas military capabilities were aborted to prevent civilian casualties, increasing the risk to Israeli citizens and soldiers.
I thought you people didn't like abortion.
Casualties, increasing the risk to Israeli citizens and soldiers.
Oh, wow. You know, we could have... See, we're so moral. We could have just fucking nuked all of you to death and killed and murdered every single one of you, but we didn't. That's how moral we are. Like this, you don't get credit for not doing things. You don't get credit for not murdering people when you're still fucking murdering people. Hold on. Oh, I don't know if I can find this, but hold on. I want to see something here. Can I open this? Will this open? I'm looking for a death toll. Hold on. Gaza death toll nearest 200. Maybe we'll just look at this, actually. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't really say. Alright, we're not going to worry about it. Let's just carry on the video for now.
Despite all of this, of course innocent civilians were killed. Every war is chaotic and confusing, and mistakes are frequent.
So, this... this is one of those things that's true, but when someone says it, you're like, what's going on with you? It's like saying, like, yeah, it's not pedophilia, it's ephebia, or whatever it's called. Or it's like, they're not attracted to children, just preteens, but they're after puberty. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Why do you do a distinction? Why are you making this argument? Of course, innocent civilians were killed. Every war is chaotic and confusing. Mistakes are frequent. But this is what I wanted to do here. Okay, hold on. Does anyone have like? I'm looking for the death toll of at least the recent conflict. Maybe it's this one. Oh wow, this is pretty good. Actually this is not good. This doesn't have the recent stuff. This is old stuff. He was talking about the 2014 thing. Well, I guess maybe this one. Yeah, actually this is the right one. Okay. Operation Protective Edge. That's the 2014 conflict. I wanted to put this in a simple way everyone could understand. Okay, this will work. So I got a couple sources here. I got Wikipedia and JewishVirtualLibrary.org. So, we want Operation Protective Edge. This is the 2014 conflict he was referring to, right? So here we have a death count. Jews/Israelis, Arabs/Palestinians. Okay, killed and wounded. Now, during Operation Protective Edge, it says 73 Israelis were killed. Meanwhile, 2,100 Palestinians were killed. That looks about... The numbers are about the same, yeah. 73, yeah, that adds up. Although it says more... The Wikipedia page has more people. Well, the Wikipedia page has varying numbers for how many Palestinians were killed. And I noticed that the Jewish Virtual Library has a lower number than the Hamas estimate and the UN estimate. So, okay. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, Israel is correct. Let me just pull this calculator up real quick. Now, 2,100 Palestinians killed. That's okay. That's not okay. Wait, no. Versus the 73 Israelis. So that is a 28.7. That's a 28.76 KDR. Okay? Just so you can understand how bad that is. Now, when you when you play Call of Duty, right? Or many other shooter games. Oh, I deleted it. Let me put this up again so we have it up. Now, when you play Call of Duty or other shooter games, there's this number that's called your kill to death ratio. That's how many other players you kill versus how many times you yourself are killed. When you get over a certain point, people start accusing you of hacking. So if your KDR is 28, something is wrong. Something is horribly wrong. All right, well, that's just one easy way to make everyone understand it.
But mistakes.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just closed the thing. The Gaza war thing here says, on the Wikipedia page, it says here, it also said on the other source, yeah, most of these people here, note A, B, C, 70% civilians, 60% civilian, 65% civilians, civilian casualties, according to, according to Hamas's own numbers and the UN numbers. 70 versus 65% civilian deaths. That's pretty fucking bad. And of note, Israel says only 36% were civilians. 44 were combatants and 20 were uncategorized males. So even the UN disagrees with Israel's numbers there. Like, okay, most moral army, we're totally not lying about the number of civilian people we fucking killed.
Are not war crimes. Hamas, on the other hand,
Oh wait, you have recent? Let me hold up. Let me pull up the Twitch thing. I was looking for the recent stuff too. But he was referring to the 2014 conflict specifically. I was looking... Whoop. Democracy Now! There we go. Usually their sources are acceptable. Yeah. I'm just glancing at chat now. How have you been under 3K subs for so long? Just happens. It's okay. Nobody died from the missile, so it's okay. Yeah, hundreds of people have nowhere to live, probably die. But the missile didn't kill anyone. Love if you've been slightly critical of Israel. You're a bigot. Yeah, well, some people just don't. They don't actually want to address the arguments. You know, right-wing people say that they get called bigots or homophobic or whatever to shut down argument, and then they do the same thing with Israel. But usually I can get away with talking about Jewish stuff at least, because I got curly hair, and if I was walking around in Israel today right now, people wouldn't think twice. They'd be like, "Hey, he's just another random Israeli guy." Death toll hits 231. Okay, that's okay. 231 people. 231 dead Palestinians. 12 Israelis. I'm not going to do a KDR for that one. That's not
war crimes.
I'm sorry. Let's hear this again.
Killed. Every war is chaotic and confusing, and mistakes are frequent. But mistakes are not war crimes.
That is actually not true. Mistakes are not war. How can you, like, fucking say that, dude? So, accidents aren't necessarily war crimes. This is true. Sometimes collateral damage does happen. But at some point, you know, reckless disregard for collateral damage over a period of time, yeah, that does become a war crime. Not only that, not everything Israel has done has been a mistake. Are you seriously going to... You're not seriously going to convince me that bombing desalination plants, bombing wells to pull up fresh water, bombing hospitals, you're not going to convince me that these aren't war crimes. Bombing the Associated Press building, now that I know that happened recently. That's not this building, or that's not this video. This video is 2015. The Associated Press Al Jazeera building happened like in the last week. Yeah, no, those are fucking war crimes. When you have a military that wants to commit war crimes or atrocities, what's one of the first things they like to do? Get rid of the press. Get rid of people who are going to report on this. Hamas was there. It's very convenient that Hamas always happens to be everywhere they hit. I'm beginning to think they just say every Palestinian is Hamas. I don't believe them anymore. I don't. What evidence have they given for... They said Hamas was in that... They said Hamas was in that building that was used by the Associated Press and Al Jazeera. What evidence did they give? None. They said they gave evidence to the United States Secretary... No, they said they gave evidence to the President, to Biden, and then the U.S. Secretary of State... Hold on. The U.S. Secretary of State said he didn't see the evidence. Yeah, right here. AP News. Blinken hasn't seen any evidence on AP Gaza building strike. Not only that, but I'll just say, like, you know, if they cared about evidence, we probably would have seen it, like, as laymen. But then again, very convenient. Any other evidence that might be investigated to corroborate this is now fucking gone because they bombed the building! Like... Blinken. Okay, I don't want to say Blinken. I wanted to see the... Like, that's very convenient! Anyway, mistakes are not war crimes. So here's the spin they give. So every time it's something bad, oh, it's Hamas. Every time we can't verify it was Hamas, it was a mistake. Therefore, not a war crime either way.
Hamas, on the other hand, committed war crimes as official government policy. Hamas deliberately positioned its...
Yeah, they don't... In the end, though, Hamas doesn't ultimately have as much power as the Israeli military does. In the end, though, Hamas doesn't... Okay, in the end, though, Israeli citizens don't have to live every single day under the oppressive boot of Hamas. Hamas doesn't have police that goes into fucking synagogues, tear gasses people who are praying during their holidays, and throw them out and call it a riot. Hamas doesn't do that. Israel does. This is not a fair one-to-one comparison. It never has been, and yeah, they just try to say it to justify what they can do. They just try to make it and frame it that way to justify the crimes that they do commit. Israel does, I mean, and this guy.
Military assets among the civilian population. Hamas deliberately positioned its military assets among the civilian population, hiding weapons in schools and hospitals, and placing rocket launchers alongside apartment buildings, then forced those civilians to stay in areas they knew would be attacked.
I got to admit, like, I believe this. I still kind of believe this, but then, like, now I'm at the point now where I wonder, I'm starting to doubt this. I'm even starting to doubt this myself. Oh, because you know, stuff like bombing the Associated Press and Al Jazeera building is so fucking, like, not okay that, and so clearly like a blatant fabrication on their part. I'm beginning to wonder if, you know, is this just something Israel says all the time? I don't know. Also, in the Gaza Strip, let me pull it up on Google Maps for y'all. I don't know if you've actually seen the Gaza Strip. Let's take a look. War, genocide, what's the difference? That's true. In my defense, oopsie-daisy. Okay, Israel. Israel. Wow, the lines are not showing up very well. This little thing, little sliver right here. Yay. Center screen. Little sliver right here. For comparison, Arizona is bigger. Okay. It's the size of New Jersey. Gaza Strip. Right in here. Gaza Strip. Now let's take a look at satellite imagery. I mean, it's a decent chunk of land, but it's still pretty thin. Yeah, alright. Did I have a point here? I think I just wanted to show how, like, thin it was. Alright, let's go.
They also instructed their people to report the lie that every Gazan killed was a civilian, even if they were actually fighters. And if there were no civilian deaths, Hamas made them up. Numerous internet sites show Palestinians elaborately staging sniper victims and smashed ambulances, among other phony horrors.
Okay, yeah, no, bullshit alarms going off. I don't buy any of this.
Numerous internet sites show Palestinians elaborately staging sniper victims and smashed ambulances, among other phony horrors.
So, yeah, at this point, you're gonna need to, like, provide some pretty clear evidence. Now, I know this came out a while ago, right? 2015, I know. But I'm gonna need more than that, dude. At this point, I'm gonna need pretty clear objective evidence independent of the IDF and Israelis media apparatus to believe anything they say. They lie too much. Yeah.
It's so common, there's even a term for it. Pallywood.
This is so fucked up, dude.
As in Palestinian Hollywood.
Okay, yeah, we airstriked one of the most densely populated places. We airstriked all these hospitals. But actually, no. No, you see, it was Hamas. They faked it. They faked the deaths. They faked it to make it look like we're murdering civilians. Never mind, we're literally launching bombs inside the middle of neighborhoods, and we literally kicked all these people out of their homes, and now the new homes that they built, we just fucking leveled.
Ironically, it's the leaders of Hamas themselves who best understand the extraordinary measures the IDF will take to protect innocent civilians. They take full advantage of Israel's decency and adherence to the laws of war.
Christ. This is like, you guys ever watch like some of those old Nazi films talking about the Jews? How they're like destroying the world, how they're all conspiring and evil. This is like such a weird, oh man, full circle, right? This is giving me big vibes of some of those films.
No army.
Because this, look, that's a good face. We'll leave it on that face for a moment. Because if Israel is committing a fucking genocide, this is the kind of video I would expect to see from them to justify it.
Take such risks in order to protect civilians as the Israeli army does. I say this as a professional soldier. Okay. I say it because it's true. And people who care about truth should know it.
And people who care about truth should know it and not watch PRAGERU.
I'm Colonel Richard Kemp for Prager University.
Absolutely gross. I can see why Netanyahu retweeted this. Like, man, at this point, nah, dude. Y'all have, this is...
PragerU.com for quizzes, contests, and prizes.
This quizzes, contests, and prizes. Well, that's probably the most disgusting PRAGERU video I've seen. Oh, wow. Look at the like to dislike ratio. 101K upvotes, 82K downvotes. Holy crap. That's close. That's like close to 50-50. Wow. It's not a war crime if your eyes were closed the whole time. Israel, no more interest in war than Belgium does. Literally went straight to the comments section. Child dying of white phosphorus burns. Say psych right now. That's right. Oh my god. I forgot about that. God, Israel has done so much bullshit. I've forgotten about a lot of it. Israel has insisted that its use of white phosphorus in the conflict was permitted under international law and that it sought to avoid unnecessary civilian deaths in Gaza. As a weapon, white phosphorus is used to mark enemy targets and used to produce smoke for concealing troop movements. Oh my god. This was in 2009. Jesus. (2008 to 2009), named Operation Cast Lead. Based on the in-depth investigations in Gaza, the report concludes the IDF repeatedly exploded white phosphorus munitions in the air over populated areas, killing and injuring civilians, damaging civilian structures, including a school, market, humanitarian aid warehouse, and a hospital. Like, what the fuck, dude? I guess I should talk about white phosphorus. White phosphorus munitions are horrifying. Yeah, let me talk about what it does. Okay, weapons use one of the common allotropes in the chemical element phosphorus. White phosphorus is used in smoke, illumination, and incendiary munitions, and is commonly the burning element of tracer ammunition. Yeah, phosphorus and magnesium, I believe. Effects, yes. In addition to direct injuries caused by fragments of their casings, white phosphorus munitions can cause injuries in two main ways: burn injuries and vapor inhalation. Oh, Christ. There's gore on the screen. I can show it on YouTube, but it's not so bad, I guess. Actually, you know what? I don't care. We're going to show it. If I get banned, we're going to show it. YouTube allows it for educational purposes, so it's educational. Burning. White phosphorus burns at a temperature of 2,760 degrees Celsius. Incandescent particles from weapons using powdered white phosphorus as their payload, blah, 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 blah. Phosphorus burns carry an increased risk of mortality due to the absorption of phosphorus into the body through the burned area with prolonged contact. The picture here is someone, a Gazan youth, holy shit, and fucking got, their back fucking got splattered with white phosphorus. Anyway, also, you breathe in the smoke, it can literally burn your lungs. Horrifying. It's just, what the fuck? Anyway, Israel said they stopped using it. The fact they even used it to begin with, what the shit? What the shit? Okay, we're done recording. Well, there's no way talking about Israel's gonna get a fully monetized video anyway, so we might as well. Yeesh. Alright, break time. FC, wait, what? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jenk. Mr. Zappa. Alright. I'm done with that one for now. Jeez. And Netanyahu retweeted that. So we've reached the point where world leaders... Let's try that again. So Netanyahu has retweeted that video. PRAGERU's reached the point where it's getting retweeted by world leaders in the process of committing genocides. Are retweeting their videos to justify what they do. Oh my god. Well, this is why we focus on PRAGERU. I told you there was danger to him. I told you they were bad news. Alright, we're done recording. Okay, what's next? We could yell. Oh, we wanted to yell at that TikToker. Fuck me, dude. Alright, I'm gonna go get some Mountain Dew. Alright, okay, listen. The next segment is gonna be a lot nicer, okay? I promise. Actually, when I say nicer, I mean I'm gonna be mean as shit, okay? I'm gonna, there's someone who said something, I'm gonna be like, listen here, you little fucking shit. Okay. Someone said, some TikToker said some dumb shit about celiac disease. We're gonna, it's my time to shine. And then, but it's not like, obviously it's a little more lighthearted than Israel-Palestine conflict. That's old. I'll be back. Nice suit though. See, get it? It's white. It's white and blue. It's the colors of the Israeli flag. See? Little artistic design going on behind the scenes there. All right, I'll be back. More likely. I know. I do. I never forget. You don't get it? What don't you get? I forgot what I said last. The colors of the shirt? I don't know if that's what you... I don't know if that's what you mean. Is that what you mean, man? I don't know. 1 second. One moment here. So how are we doing, everybody? How's your lives? How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up with you guys? What's up? What's up, baby? How's it going? Alrighty. This next alright, this next guy. Oh my god. I don't know how to I can feel in my veins the anger flowing through me. Oh my god. Is this gonna be a... Alright. So before we get started here... before we get started... Okay, I saw something on Twitter I wanted to acknowledge when I looked at it earlier. Contrary to the advice of medical and scientific professionals, Senator Rand Paul says he's not getting vaccinated because he already contracted COVID-19. Don't do this. Although, let me say, oh, Senator Paul, oh no, don't do that. No, don't, stop. Listen, if he wants to do it or not do it, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna really lose any sleep over it if, you know, if he gets it again. The reason for this is we don't know how long your natural immunity lasts. It's very, very possible that if you get COVID once, you can get it again a few months later. There are cases of a few people who've gotten it twice. Yeah. So it's better to get the vaccine anyway and just go and be like, yeah, I'm safer. And it's possible that you know, a year after you get it, there may be a slightly different strand that you get, and now you're sick again. That's not good. At least with having the vaccine is going to give you basic coverage for basic. How's it work? It's like a basic coverage for your immune system. The immune system's got a basic coverage of the shape of that particular kind of coronavirus. So, you know, if you're a betting man, those odds are much better. All right, but clearly, come on, dude's name is Rand. He doesn't understand this. Also, that's like very dangerous as a senator to say, I'm not going to get the COVID vaccine. Some people, maybe your constituents, maybe some random other people, might hear that and go, well, he's not going to get the vaccine. Neither am I. And now we have a public health hazard. We've had a lot. Okay. Shall we get going? Shall we get going? Who's ready to hear me yell at a TikToker? Oh, baby, let's do this. Oh, it says I'm recording. I don't know what I was recording. That's ridiculous. Okay, so there's this website some of you may know of called TikTok. It's horrible. Don't use it. It's a bad thing. TikTok is China. I don't know what... Let's try that again. Donald Trump wanted to ban TikTok because China, for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what happened with that. But it didn't work because TikTok is still here. I can see it right in front of me with my own eyes. Another one of Donald Trump's failed promises. He may have won re-election had he banned this website. So there's this guy. Someone sent me a video from this guy. Bar Chemistry. 1.4 million followers. Jeez. So, bar tings and other tings. Whatever. 21 plus. While this video, you don't have to be 21 plus. So, my content is aimed for college age and up. Which is close enough. Anyway, you scroll through, there's a whole bunch of, like, alcohol stuff. Whatever. The one video we care about is this one right here, the second one. We can see from the thumbnail, it says, what liquors are gluten-free? There's several things wrong with this video. This was sent to me. I'm probably going to edit this to make it a little snappy, and then upload it to my own TikTok. I've never uploaded a TikTok video because I have no interest in this website, but let's take a look at this video.
My man, I'm not just gonna help you out, I'm about to change your life.
Okay, pause it. He's replying to a comment here. Do top 5 gluten-free alcohols for your celiac disease boys. Help a dude out. So someone left this comment on some video of his. Seems easy enough.
So if you are gluten-free because you have some kind of condition like celiac disease or you're just a white woman, listen up. How to not...
Wait,
my man,
whoop, I fucked that up.
I'm not just gonna help you out, I'm about to change your life. So if you are gluten-free because you have some kind of condition like celiac disease or you're just a white woman, listen up.
Okay, so I have to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit having celiac disease. I don't know if you guys know this. Pretty much means that I can't eat out anywhere anymore unless the staff are educated on what celiac disease is, how it affects people, and the kitchen is specifically designed for people with celiac disease in mind. And that's annoying, to say the least. Not only can I not eat out, but any food that I buy has to be prepared in that same way. So when I hear people make comments about like, oh, you know, oh, you eat gluten-free, or you're a white woman, it kind of just, some part of my heart is just like, Also, it's not celiac's disease. Celiac's, it's not a possessive, it's not a possessive noun. It's just celiac disease. It's taken from a Latin word, which was taken from a Greek word, or for celiac, I guess, was how it was pronounced in Greek, which refers to your abdomen. It's just abdomen. Yeah, who's celiac? There is no celiac. It's just abdominal pain is what the root word came from. Because back in ancient Greece, there was some fucking physician, I'm not joking, there was some physician back in ancient Greece who wrote about some patients of his had health problems where their abdomen hurt. And he thought it was something to do with their diet. He wrote that some people feel pain after eating bread. Now, okay, that's a huge, I know this is like a big, long, like explanation for this, but it's just, it's a warning sign. This guy here doesn't really have celiac disease. First sign, okay? Some people do insist on having their stuff gluten-free without the need or knowing why they want it, though. Yeah, guess what? I don't give a shit. I have celiac disease. I have to live with this every moment of my life. I don't get a cheat day. I can't slip up. If some people want to insist on having it without knowing it, that's fine. It doesn't hurt me. But people who make fun of these people do hurt me. Are your symptoms bad? Mine are horrible. Mine are like, there's like a spectrum of sensitivity. I'm right at the end of it. If I get a fraction of a crumb, I vomit for days. If I get it really bad, I have to go to the ER and get intravenously, get fluids into me intravenously because I might suffer dehydration because I'm throwing up for days at a time. Okay, there we go. Let's go.
All liquor is gluten-free. Read this. It's all.
Okay. Now, let's read this, shall we? Yes, is liquor gluten-free? Now, the question was not, is liquor gluten-free? The question was, can you name some gluten-free alcohols? Strike one. Little sleight of hand, but okay. Yes, pure distilled liquor, even if I recognize this font. This is from beyondceliac.org. Is liquor gluten-free? Yes, pure distilled liquor, even if made from wheat, barley, or rye, is considered gluten-free. Most liquors are safe for people with celiac disease because of the distillation process. There's two exceptions to this. However, be on the lookout for hidden gluten in liquors that add flavorings or other additives after his head blocks it. Oh, there's a second sentence here behind his head. What? Why is it blocked out? He's not reading it. What does it say? What does it say? Well, let's pull up the website. There is also a risk for cross-contamination. Okay, let's try the sentence again. There is also a risk for gluten cross-contamination in facilities that process products containing wheat, barley, or rye. Guess what, dipshit? It's not fucking safe for me. If there's a risk, it's not fucking safe. Let me take a drink. So the distillation process, you have the wheat or whatever, you mix it up, you distill it, it goes through the tubes, gets on the other side. The gluten is still here. We consume this other stuff in alcohol, because the distilled stuff in alcohol, and this extra gluten is often put in like high gluten flours and other stuff like that, or it's used as a thickening agent in a lot of other product. But this stuff over here is not supposed to have it. However, guess what? If it's in the same facility, then there's still a risk. Some of this extra gluten, I don't know, some of it might splash over. Some of it, it's not supposed to cross over during the distillation process, but can a company 100% guarantee it? No! They fucking can't! Can a company 100% guarantee that it's not going to get on some other surface within the manufacturing process that might get in the end product? No, they can't.
All of it is gluten-free. I
don't know what that was. What was I going to say here? There's one more thing here. Oh, yes. Okay. If a product... Now, if food... The alcohol is alcohol has different rules than regular food. If regular food is potentially exposed to wheat product during the manufacturing process, the label cannot say gluten-free. These are FDA rules. Now, alcohol does not follow the same process because alcohol is not part of the FDA's purview. It says here, the Alcohol, Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, TTB. That's the one that regulates it. So the rules for alcohol are different than the rules for food. It's not the same. If they put a gluten-free label on the product, like if you have an alcohol bottle and it says gluten-free on it, then they at any point can be subject to gluten testing. And if they're subject to it, then they have to get within a certain range. Now, you may notice that a lot of alcohol that's made from rye or wheat or whatever doesn't have that label. Might technically not have gluten in it, but the company is not willing to like make that claim because they don't want to be subject to that test. So they're not going to put the gluten-free label on it because it might be exposed to gluten during the manufacturing process. Which, guess what, is not safe for people with celiac disease. Hold on, one more thing. Now, it's another kind of huge giveaway that he doesn't know anything about celiac disease, doesn't have it himself, because cross-contact is one of the very first things they teach you when you're diagnosed with celiac disease. First things first is, this is what gluten is, this is how it affects you, and it's in these ingredients. Second thing, it's in everything, and you have to worry about cross-contamination. You have to worry about cross-contact. Yep, congratulations. Welcome to the world. It fucking sucks for you. Cross-contact is when a gluten-free food or food product is exposed to a gluten-containing ingredient or food, making it unsafe for people with celiac disease to eat. It feels like these two articles were written by two different people. Oh, yeah. Gluten can hide in a lot of places, even in your home. Oh, yeah. So, like, a good example for this, you know a colander for spaghetti strainer? You know, it's got all those little holes in it? Well, guess what? Those are great places for gluten to hide. So if a colander is used for gluten pasta, can't ever use it for gluten-free pasta because those little holes, little bits of it, gluten loves to hide in there. And you wash it, it's safe. It's safe to use, it's fine. A normal person's not gonna get sick, but then someone else uses it, boom! Little bits of gluten. All it takes is a little tiny fraction of a crumb to get a reaction of someone with celiac disease. All right, also, tiny thing. The question was about alcohol, and he responded with, oh no, liquor is. Scroll down a bit, let's scroll down a bit. What's down here? A note on beer. This is a big killer. Beer is fermented, not distilled, so it goes through a different creation process. Regular beer is made with barley and not safe for people with celiac disease. Yeah, it's not. It's not. All right.
Every single one. Gluten
Let's hear it.
does not transfer through the distillation process. So brands like Tito's that write that their liquor is gluten-free on the bottle are playing the fuck out of you because every vodka is gluten-free.
This is wrong for a few reasons. Tito's vodka. Let me tell you what's up with Tito's vodka. Do you know what Tito's vodka is made from? Corn! It's not made from wheat, barley, or rye. It's made from corn! So when a company says, usually when a liquor company, And this bottle doesn't say gluten-free on it. But usually when a liquor company says a product is gluten-free, they can guarantee it's gluten-free. And if you randomly took a gluten test to it, there's these little devices, you put a little bit on and it beeps. It says the amount per gluten that's detected. Or no, it just says yes or no, but it's only sensitive to a certain number of, certain percentage, certain parts per million is the sensitivity, yeah. So when a liquor or alcohol says gluten-free on it, it's usually because it's made out of non-gluten containing ingredients. They're not lying to you, they're literally telling the truth. It's that at no point during the process of making Tito's is it ever exposed to any gluten containing ingredients. I get it, you don't have celiac disease, you don't know what it's like, but let me fucking tell you, there's a little bit more to this than what you... There's a little bit more thought that goes into this than what you are clearly capable of. Okay.
Time a liquor is not gluten-free is if they add something with gluten after they already made the vodka, whiskey, gin, rum, whatever.
Literally, whatever. Literally said right behind his head that cross-contamination is a thing and not safe for people with celiac disease. Hey!
So now go and be free, my child, and go try all the liquors you previously thought would kill you.
So fucking condescending. Fuck you, you piece of shit. And celiac disease, it doesn't fucking kill you, okay? It's just extremely unpleasant. It's, for me, I'm just like vomiting for a few days. I have a migraine. My vision gets blurry. Sometimes I fall over. No big deal. I mean, pretty big deal because it sucks and I can't really function or go to work or anything on those days. Really pisses me off. But hey, it doesn't kill me, right? So it's fine, right? Piece of shit. I responded to him. Hold on, let me open this up. He actually responded to a comment of mine I left. But I saved it here. Hold on. All right. I left the comment. There is also a risk for gluten cross-contamination in facilities that process products containing wheat, barley, or rye. That's from the Beyond Celiac page. Thanks for not reading that. And he responded, minuscule risk. No! For people with celiac disease, that's a pretty fucking big risk, idiot! And someone else said, honestly, if you're going to listen to someone on TikTok without doing your own research, kind of deserved. Boy! Girl! Momo. Girl. This motherfucker has 1.4 million followers and is sharing, like, disinformation and irresponsible bullshit about a disease that affects me and millions of other people. Like, okay, yeah, sure, but like, this isn't me believing him, this is me clapping back. All right. Oh, he also said this. Are you guys ready for the next part? You're not ready for the next part. You're really gonna love this next part. Someone said, takes your word for it, dies. He responds, and I'm not joking here, I'm actually trying to cleanse our gene pools of the weak. $1.4 million follower account. You know, sometimes I get that this is a joke, and I get that some people are trying to be edgy. I get that. But it hits a little differently when someone's saying this about you. it hits a little differently when it's like a personal thing. You know? Maybe you don't know because it's not you. But I'm just saying. It hits differently. Alright. So I guess that's that. Bar Chemistry, 1.4 million followers. What the fuck, right?
My man, I'm not just gonna help you out, I'm about to change your life. So if you are gluten-free because you have some kind of condition like celiac disease or you're just a white woman, listen up.
All right. Okay, that's a segment. I'm done with that segment. Wonder if I can edit that down to be like what's the size limit on TikTok? Is it 1 minute or is it 3 minutes? Wonder if I can edit that down to be like a 1 to 3 minute thing. Anyway, that'll be a whole segment for YouTube anyway. Guess eugenics is a joke now? Well, it's always been a joke to some people. Oh, yikes. Yeah. No disrespect to you though. I mean, having everything gluten-free would be simple enough. There'd be no problem doing that with me. Yeah. The problem with that is like oh, that's not celiac disease. That's just me coughing. The problem with that is it's like someone is always going to be allergic to some food, to something. So even if everything's gluten-free, then there's always going to be, you know, there are people who are allergic to rice, right? So I can eat all the rice I want, but someone out there is going to be allergic to it. So, you know, if we swap everything to be gluten-free, then, well, someone's going to get, depending on what we do, someone's going to get left out, right? So the idea is we just kind of, the idea is we're supposed to be kind of aware of what everyone else has. You know, and just take care. Do the best we can, you know, for each person. And ideally, you know, you keep your manufacturing process for your foods. Ideally, you keep it limited to as few ingredients as possible. Yeah. Make every food synthetic space-based. Well, I had to be fed intravenously through my jugular for several months once. That was fun. That worked. Although I've heard some people might be allergic to the solution they use, so they got to use different kinds. What are the new medication being developed preventively help celiac symptoms? You know anything about that? That's been in development like for a decade or two. There's a couple. The idea is supposed to be it's some kind of well, I don't know about that one. Maybe you saw something different, but there's supposed to be like a vaccine that's been in development, with the idea being people with celiac disease can take it, and then if you ever get exposed to gluten after taking it, you don't have a big reaction to it. That's the idea, and it's been in human trials, but results inconclusive, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe after the rapid development of COVID, COVID being an mRNA vaccine, maybe after that there'll be some more. Maybe after that there'll be like a breakthrough in that kind of technology. That's a possibility. But I ain't holding my breath. Okay, well, that was that. That was fun. So which one's worse, Netanyahu or that guy? Netanyahu, yeah. Man, we're just like going over a lot of fucking awful people today. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, Dave Rubin said that Trump is coming on his show next month in June. That'll be interesting to see. I'm so ready. Oh, I remember this. I wanted to look at this.
The other day at the press conference you were talking about.
Shh. We're not ready for you yet. Bruh? Don't bruh me. I don't know what's getting bruhed. Alright. Oh. I want to do this one. Yeah, I want to do this one. Hold on, we'll get to that in a moment. I was broing Dave Rubin. Yeah. Trending in the United States, a cripple has walked? What the fuck? And everyone's responding like, what the fuck is this trending thing? You know, that's not helpful. Okay, that's not very... What the fuck? I don't know. I'm looking at it and I'm not seeing like an answer. I don't want to look anymore. Oh man. Wasn't Death to Arabs trending on Twitter a few weeks ago? What the fuck? I'm not on Twitter anymore. I just like look at it when I look at something on stream. Okay, what was I gonna do? One more thing here. TU Vienna. Vienna University of Technology. Well, now I'm curious. Well, I'm looking at it, but I don't... I don't know. So it doesn't look like it's a vaccine. It looks like it's something different. Uses part of the antibody that binds to gluten. It attacks gluten molecules to render them harmless. What? So do I take it before I eat it, or how's this work? This article doesn't it doesn't say much. Okay, so it's like reprogramming bacteria in your gut. That's interesting, but I'm not certain I would immediately trust that. Or let me rephrase that. I'm not certain I would immediately trust that to like stop the reaction from happening, if that makes sense. I imagine I probably wouldn't be that sick. Like I imagine if this works, it's probably going to be fine to take, but I wouldn't trust it to like prevent me from getting sick, if that makes sense. Either way, like unless there's like some wild gene therapy or some crazy thing, I'm not gonna be eating, you know, a gluten pizza or anything like that. I gained some respect for Vosh because of the Palestine charity thing. Well, that's in character for him. I mean, with your symptoms, I wouldn't either, but interesting nonetheless. Oh, it is interesting. I'd like to see it done, right? Because even if it's not like, you know, even if it doesn't do a whole lot for me, it's still like research into that. You know, any research into like treatment for celiac disease is like, well, you know, it's another step. Maybe in another 10, 20 years, there'll be something else. You know, that it could happen. That's all good. I'll take anything I can get, right? But I'm not gonna hold my breath for any of those treatments to really help me a whole lot. Or I'm not even holding breath to like even seeing any of them. But maybe they will. Okay. Let's take a quick look at this thing. Okay, so as some of you know, I guess we'll record this. Okay, as some of you know, Trump lost. Eat it, Republicans! But Trump was unwilling to accept this. You know, I can't be a loser. I'm a winner. Well, no, you lost. Nobody likes you. Too bad. So sad. Go away. Don't come back. But some Republicans have been unable to accept this themselves. Okay? Because of this, they've been trying to do audits, especially in my state, going over a whole bunch of ballots that were cast. Now, here's a video of a guy working for the auditing. He's working for the committee that's overseeing the Republican audit here in Arizona. This guy is not one of the Republicans who wanted to do the audit. This guy is like a neutral party, making sure that nothing too shady happens with these people. Okay? Okay. Now, in this video, he explains what one of the things these Republican auditors are looking for. Let's hear him out.
The other day at the press conference, you were talking about bamboo. What was that about?
Well, is that there's accusations that 40,000 ballots were flown in.
To Arizona?
Into Arizona, and it was stuffed into the box, okay? And it came from the southeast part of the world, Asia, okay? And what they're doing is to find out if there's bamboo in the paper. That camera right there, that they take a picture of the ballot, they can really look at depth and find out, is it a hand-marked paper ballot? Because it's a 5K camera. You can see the folds in the ballot because 92% of all the ballots here should have been folded because they came in through an envelope, okay? And so they're doing all sorts of testing to prove if it was or wasn't, and that's very important because the only way you can persuade people on changing is having facts, and we're on a mission for facts. And I'm Audit Elections USA, and what we do is not about the right or left. Audit is an acronym. It stands for Americans United for Democracy, Integrity, and Transparency in Elections. We've been around 17 years. We work all over the country for the last 5 years. I'm in litigation in Florida. Sued in Alabama. States. Just working elections, and I all started because of the Bernie Sanders election in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. I'm the guy who sued the whole state.
Okay, sure. Now, the rest of the interview, 33 seconds.
So what does the bamboo, why do you check for
because
bamboo?
They use bamboo in their paper processing.
Who's they?
People in Southeast Asia.
So that you feel like
that's what they say.
40,000 ballots have been.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that. I'm just saying that is part of the mystery that we want to ungaslight people about, and this is a way to do it.
This is part of what you're looking at.
I'm not. They are. I'm here as an observer and a professional in elections for the last 17 years.
So
what does the bamboo?
So the second one there kind of reveals is like, I don't respect these people, but I gotta be professional about it. Okay, so I guess that's one of the accusations some Arizona Republicans made. That ballots were flown in from China. And we can tell this because there's bamboo in the paper. Oh my god. There's so many things wrong with that. First off, that's kind of racist, let's be honest. Second, why would they fly them in from China? Just make them here. Like, I could do it in my garage. Well, I couldn't, like, do all the barcoding and stuff that the ballots have, because that's, like, actually kind of complicated. But I could fill out a physical piece of paper. Easy. This guy, this schizophrenic. I live in AZ. This is not a joke. It is a coup. These auditors were hired to find fraud. They will succeed. They will declare Rump the legitimate president. Cue the lawsuits. Go to hear the case. Pray they squash this coup or democracy ends. What? I don't know what this guy's even saying. None of this is gonna happen. None of this is gonna go anywhere. Get a panda. They love the bamboo. They'll find the bamboo. None of this is gonna go anywhere. Not only is none of this gonna go anywhere. Hold on. Oh god.
Clients share.
Well, I guess this is the one I gotta look for. So, amateur pro-Trump auditors tainted election machine security in AZ. I looked at this earlier. This thumbnail, this guy looks... This is not a flattering thumbnail they picked for this guy. Alright, well, let's take a look. Maybe. Okay, let's go.
As your business.
Yeah, video play after ad. Well, we gotta wait. Vosh good? Vosh is good. He's okay. So, I feel like... Let's skip ahead here. I feel like a lot of the hostility towards him, I don't understand anymore. Some of it at the start, like, at the start, I didn't like him for some comments he made, like about Total Biscuit, but then, like, at this point, though, it's like, I don't get it, right? I don't get it. Watch my video reacting to Clavin. The character of the stupid leftist is 100% right. Maybe I'd be more interesting if I read King Lear. Well, you know, I did read King Lear. Maybe it'd be more interesting if I remembered it. Actually, maybe I'd be more interesting, you know, if like, I went out more. That's probably a good idea.
Today, the
give it to me, Rachel.
Secretary of State in Arizona, top elections official in the state, Katie Hobbs. Today, she conveyed some bad news to Maricopa County, the county that had all its ballots and voting machines and tabulators and all the rest taken by Republicans in the Arizona Senate so they could then be given to these Trump conspiracy theory, QAnon promoting.
God, I really hate MSNBC. I don't like Rachel Maddow either, but oh god, these mannerisms.
Total rando cyber ninjas with no election experience. This is what Katie Hobbs said to the county today. She said, quote, I am writing to express my concerns about Maricopa County's elections equipment, which was turned over to the Arizona Senate and then to their agent, Cyber Ninjas. I understand Cyber Ninjas has begun...
Like, they actually named themselves this. Like, what the fuck?
Returning the election equipment to the county. I have grave concerns, she says, regarding the security and integrity of these machines, given that the chain of custody, a critical security tenet, has been compromised, and election officials do not know what was done to the machines while under Cyber Ninja's control. Indeed, according to the Department of Homeland Security, such loss of custody constitutes a cyber incident to critical infrastructure, an event that could jeopardize the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of digital information or information systems. Therefore, my office consulted with election technology and security experts, including at the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, at Homeland Security, regarding the appropriate next steps. Each unanimously advised us that once election officials lose custody and control over voting systems and components, those devices should not be used in future elections.
Yep, so we're gonna have to buy new ones. Like the whole state. Ugh. I mean, kind of saw that coming, but shit, man. That's gonna cost us some money.
Rather, decommissioning and replacing.
I played Edmund the King there because I related to him. He's my most favorite character. That was Drag King moment. I did a Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet. It was quite a while ago. But I liked that role. That was fun. Getting a spoiler, I guess. Getting stabbed and fucking dying. That was awesome. and I don't even remember any of the lines anymore. It was like a curse, a plague upon both your houses. Yeah, I remember that one. Your dying words. Oh, it's just a scratch. Oh, it's just but a scratch. I'm fine. And then you realize, oh, it's not a scratch. Oh, I'm dying. Okay. Final words is casting a plague on both their houses, which turned out, yeah, that's how it turned out in the end. Oh, goodness.
Placing those devices is the safest option, as no methods exist to adequately ensure those machines are safe to use in future elections. As such, my office is urging the county not to redeploy any of the machines that it turned over to the Arizona Senate in any future elections.
Yep. God, it's gonna cost like tens of millions of dollars. Oh,
instead,
well.
the county should acquire
new
machines to ensure secure and accurate elections in Maricopa County going forward.
It's too late now.
This is a multi-million-dollar letter here, right? Arizona Secretary of State telling Maricopa County, sorry, but you've got to throw all of this stuff out now. Your election machinery, your voting machines, your tabulators, all this.
I really don't like most of these talking heads. Is this like the way they talk and deliver their lines? I don't know. Just something about them is like very off-putting to me. Like Rachel Maddow, Tucker Carlson, they're on the internet, but those two on the Hill, Crystal Ball and Sagar, I don't like either of them. I don't like any of these people. You know, at least like Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon on CNN like have like an air of professionality to them, but MSNBC doesn't. It's not the same. MSNBC, Fox News does not. CNN at least like tries.
This stuff, they all have to be replaced now. You can't reuse them again.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I think we're done with this. We got the message. We got the idea. Just sell some extra iced tea to make up for it. I haven't had Arizona iced tea in quite a while, now that I think about it. I don't really drink tea very much. Now you put it like that, now I'm thinking about it. Huh. 'Tis but a scratch, the Holy Grail. Well, they may have been inspired by that. You know, Monty Python. Those people on Monty Python's definitely read some Shakespeare. No way. Like, no way they haven't, right? I don't even remember what Andrew Clavin said about King Lear. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't even remember. Probably boring. Not interesting. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even remember quite what happens in King Lear. Like, I know that's one of the bigger ones, but I don't really remember. There's only a handful that I remember. And like like nowadays my memory is kind of bad, so I can't really do like you got to memorize all the lines when you do a play. And nowadays my memory is really bad, and I don't think I can do that for most of these characters. I remember Romeo and Juliet. I remember Hamlet. I remember I remember Titus Andronicus. Can never forget that one. Oh God. I had a professor at college once who was like, "Oh yeah, Titus Andronicus is my favorite play," and like nobody else in the class responded. They're all just like asleep, like a lot of college kids are, and I was like, "You sure you want to say that in front of everybody?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." He looked right at me and his face lit up because it's like, one of these students actually is paying attention and knows what Titus Andronicus is about. And he's like, "Oh yes, I love Titus Andronicus." And I'm like, "All right, man. If that's what you want to you want to lock that down, go ahead." It occurred to me a lot of you probably don't know what Titus Andronicus is about as I say this out loud. Many things happen in Titus Andronicus it's considered the darkest Shakespeare story he ever made. Well, many things happen. I'll just say the one thing everyone seems to remember. This is the play where some people's dead bodies get baked into a pie and someone is forced to eat them. I don't know if you knew that. This is the play where this came from. So that was Shakespeare who wrote that. Yeah. I love it. Also, I guess trigger warning, someone is raped in the story and has her hands cut off and writes the name of the people in the dirt with a stick in her mouth. Yeah, this is a Shakespeare play. What the shit, man? Oh God. This is the same story as Much Ado About Nothing, the same writer. Anyway, I liked Much Ado About Nothing too. That was also a good one. And Midsummer's Night Dream, as corny as it is, I do have a soft spot in my heart for it. Anyway, that's all that. There was one more thing I wanted to do today. I guess Natsuki's not here, but we can do it today. So there's a bunch of stuff currently shared on the Discord, right? Blah blah blah. This was a couple weeks ago, John Doyle video. How porn is destroying you and our country. We're gonna do that one. We're gonna do that one. All right, I'll be back. We want to do that one, right? I want to do that one. That was all silent. I'm sorry. Shakespeare would write something about biggest dickest. There are a surprising number of dick jokes in Shakespeare stories. Like, surprisingly. I never would have expected as many as there are. Alrighty. Titus Andronicus has a your mom joke. I don't immediately remember it, but that's okay. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this was recently shared on the Discord. How porn is destroying you and our country. Let's take a look. Yep, I'm sure. Wait, it opened up on the other screen. Hold on. Boop, boop. Alright, Johnny. Hey, he's wearing an orange tie. Should I get my orange tie out for this? What do you think? Let's go with this for now.
We're just gonna dive right into this because I have no
1 hour 42 minutes. Well, I don't know if we'll do that, but let's listen for now.
idea how to properly start this video, and to be honest with you, I've been pretty anxious about making it.
God, he speaks really fast already. Hold on.
Which is why we've been absent for a while, why it's taken so long to put out, because there's so much to cover, and I want to make sure that I do it in a way that is optimally thorough and digestible,
That's
and also
too
because
fast.
very few people actually talk about this issue, so watch it in parts if you have to. Just make sure that you watch the whole thing, because I think that this will end up being one of the most important videos that we've ever done. So I'll just start off by saying there is no greater threat to the future of our country than pornography.
Barbie dolls. 2,400,000 views, huh? All right, let's hear him out.
Not socialism, not the left, not big government,
Okay.
pornography. And I'll prove that to you if you lend me your attention for however long this takes us to get through. Please bear with me, hear me out.
Okay, he's laid out his thesis. This is good. This is a good introduction so far. Let's hear him.
But to summarize what I mean by that before we get into all the data and explanations, if you imagine any conflict that you have in your life or that we face as a society, you have to think of it as a zero-sum game. You have to focus on yourself just as much and perhaps even more than you're focusing on your enemy. Like, it's not enough to say, well, you know, they're stupid. They're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. There's no way they could ever make that work or be successful, because if you're not bringing anything to the table to push back against that, to stand your ground, then it really doesn't matter how foolish you think your enemy is. Eventually, they'll conquer you, because any ground that they have gained is necessarily ground that you have ceded. It is a zero-sum game. And the reason this ties into pornography...
I strongly disagree with that, but I guess we'll hear him out. You can make progress... You can make progress in various ways without other people necessarily losing things. Now you can make an argument for certain aspects of like social justice being like that. Like okay, so now that black people have more rights, white people don't dominate everything. Sure, yeah. That's true. But like, I don't necessarily think, you know, every conflict works like that. Hold on. Got some fucking spammer in the Twitch chat. How do I mute this person? Banned. Don't come back.
is that pornography is literally making us mentally ill. It is making us depressed. It is making us weak. It's making us numb and pacified. It's making us more impulsive and therefore more susceptible to propaganda. And again, we're going to get into all the data behind this in great detail. But the point is that if you had something like that, something that was literally neurochemically breeding mental illness in practically the entire male population, do you think that those men would ever be able to successfully push back against the left, against socialism, against a big government, against anything, let alone feel as though their lives have meaning? No. No, what has happened to our men in the...
That argument kind of assumes that conservatism is the default position, which is not true, but...
the last 15 years is unprecedented throughout the history of the world.
I got a feeling he has a crippling porn addiction. Yeah, I get the feeling too.
Guinea pigs. And what we're finding out is that the results of this are catastrophic for our brains, for our lives, for our society as a whole. And you can laugh at this if you want to, but it doesn't make it any less true. And again, we've got a mountain of data to back
I'll hear
this
it
up.
out. I'll hear him out.
But first, I just want you to ask yourself a question, which is just very simply, am I... addicted to pornography. You know, we're going to get into the nature of addiction later, but we know that 98% of men have accessed pornography in the last 6 months, and that.
Okay, in the last 6 months, that come on, that doesn't count.
80% of men have accessed it within the last week. Ask yourself this.
That's not necessarily an addiction. An addiction is when it starts to control other aspects of your life. Of which I would bet the majority of people do not have an addiction.
This question: when's the last time I went over a month without watching pornography, or even 2 weeks? Your answer doesn't necessarily mean that you're addicted, but you know, if you were addicted, the next question would be, okay.
He does acknowledge that. Okay, good.
Is this a bad addiction to have? Am I doing damage to myself, or is it exactly the same as people who just like to look at pictures of puppies all the time, which is an actual argument that we'll address later from the pornography addicts. But for now, if you're a young man who watches pornography and you just so happen to feel depressed, to feel unmotivated to do things, even things that you used to enjoy, you feel socially anxious, you feel as though you have no control in your life, maybe you seem to have some form of erectile dysfunction, even if you're very young, maybe you don't get morning wood anymore, maybe you've had some encounters with women and you weren't able to keep it up the whole time, or maybe you need to fantasize about pornography or watch it at the same time in order to sustain yourself. Sort of vulgar, so I apologize for that, but you know, maybe you're not even interacting with women, maybe they're not even as appealing to you, you don't feel
well, not during COVID, but I've been trying, okay? I've been trying to change that. I'm working on that.
very good about yourself, you don't have self-confidence, you have trouble
I have plenty of self-confidence though.
concentrating on things, you feel numb in everyday life. If any of this sounds like you, I need you to consider that you just
kind of threw together a whole bunch of different things there that a lot of people feel in different ranges, different degrees, like all throughout their life. These are pretty normal things to feel. These aren't necessarily relative to an addiction, especially a pornography addiction.
Use of pornography is likely causing, or at the very least amplifying, some of these problems. And we can prove it scientifically, empirically, logically, anecdotally, whichever way you'd like.
Okay, so I'll give one little thing here before we look at what he says. I would say a lot of people get into some kind of addiction, not necessarily pornography, but just any kind of addiction because they face these things and they don't really know how to deal with them in healthy ways. A pornography addiction is really only just one possible outlet someone might have. I think smoking and opioids are much more likely and much more dangerous. Much more common, much more dangerous, especially in the United States. And pornography is really just kind of one element. And not quite as dangerous. But okay, that's like as much that's probably as close as I'm going to agree with him on this. Let's go.
And I know this is an uncomfortable conversation to have, believe me. You should see some of the emails I get about this stuff, but this is the most important conversation to be having because there is no greater threat to the well-being of the country than pornography. Because
I mean, how many people do opioids kill every year, right? How many people suffer some kind of health conditions from smoking? And smoking's been like, up until the last couple of years at least, smoking's been like record lows. Like what, 14% in the United States? It's pretty good, but that's still tens of millions of people. I mean, you don't really have major health conditions associated with pornography, quite like the others, quite like smoking and opioids do. But
after a few generations of men experiencing the symptoms that we just listed, the country will collapse. Like, it simply can't survive that. No society has ever faced anything like this before. And if you care about this country, then you have to be disciplined. What do we always say? A disciplined mind is an effective mind. Aristotle said, I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. He also said, we are what we repeatedly do. And
he's right, though. I agree with that.
Pornography is an attack on man.
But I don't agree with the prescription.
By extension, an attack on the family, and by extension, an attack on the society. And if we
now that's just insane to me.
don't reverse course soon, our civilization simply will not survive. Like, we will be conquered by our enemies. Men who came before you didn't live like this, and you were
the men who came before you
were never supposed to, because
imagine wanting to be a boomer this bad at such a young age as John Doyle. What is John Doyle doing? Like, what is this, right? Like, look at that face. That's a good face. By good face, I mean bad face. But, like, that's a good face to pause on. Look at that face. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's his Coomer face. Okay, let's go.
Pornography literally causes all of these problems. And we know this because of what we can prove that it does to your neurochemistry and because of what we can prove that it does to your being. Like, just because it's hard to conduct an experiment with the proper controls, because of how widespread this issue is and how inherently private it is, doesn't mean that you get to be like, no, this has been debunked.
Oh, it sounds like he's been told this before. And that's got, that image looks like Adam ruins everything. Man, this came out in 2021. This came out this year, a few months ago. It's an hour and 42 minutes and it doesn't have any timestamps. My guy, come on. Even I do timestamps on some of the longer ones.
Sex positive psychologist told me so. No! And even that aside, the studies that we do have that explore this with the proper methodology all align with our positions.
Sex positive psychologists told me. What? Oh.
Your opinion is invalid. Coom brain. 1,000% increase in erectile dysfunction in the last 15 years. Wonder why that could be. What's changed?
Wait.
1,000% increase in erectile dysfunction in the last.
1,000% increase in erectile dysfunction in the last 10 years?
Last 15 years.
15 years. Okay. Well, the first thing I would bet is it's probably got something to do with sugar in our diet. That seems like the obvious one. So, erectile dysfunction, Mayo Clinic, medical conditions, particularly diabetes or heart conditions, tobacco use. Yeah, over time cause cardiac health conditions lead to erectile dysfunction. Being overweight, especially if you're obese. Hey, I called it. And what's been the number one cause of, okay, within the last 15, 20, 30 years in the United States, there's a lot more people who are overweight. What's been the primary cause of that? Sugar in our diet. Yeah. And what's been the cause of that? Yeah, massive corn subsidies. He says as he drinks Mountain Dew with high fructose corn syrup. Yep. Well, there we go. That's the answer. Oh, no. Oh, it's pornography. Oh.
Wonder why that could be. What's changed? It's a real head scratcher, isn't it?
Motivated reasoning, John Doyle. John Motivated Reasoning Doyle. Do I want to acknowledge the conditions that are actually causing this, or do I want to just try to cram it all into something that will fit my narrow worldview? Try to cram it all into something that fits my preconceived notions. Try to cram it all into this argument I want to make about fucking porn, because I want to be a conservative boomer.
The leftist porn addicts that are going to make pathetic response videos to this are going to be like, source, study, shut up, addict. You sacrifice the privilege of sympathy when you start rationalizing and trying to normalize your addiction throughout society so as to prevent yourself from realizing how weak you actually are. And that's the thing. They'll say,
okay, like, here's a hot thing I'm going to share with all y'all. I don't really care. I don't really care about okay, this is going to be a little personal. I don't really care about sex and porn quite as much as a lot of other people seem to do, especially not as much as John Doyle, because I got other shit to do. Like I don't have time for this. Come on.
Pornography addiction isn't
like I gotta go to work, man.
Unless you're watching it at work or in public, things like that, because they need to obfuscate symptoms of extreme addiction as just addiction in order to normalize their perversion throughout society. But to those who aren't coping,
this is insane. Like this whole tangent he's going on here is his response to a hypothetical person asking for sources. Like, what the fuck are you going on about, my dude?
To those who don't think they're addicted or to those who just aren't sure, here's my challenge to you. Detox for 60 days. And if you're not addicted, it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Oh man, he's really gonna hate me. I don't want to reveal too much, actually. Detox for 60 days. Well, it's not been 60 days for me, but...
Sure. Here's my challenge to you. Detox for 60 days.
Detox in what way? Just not access pornography?
And if you're not addicted, shouldn't be a problem, right?
Okay. Not a problem for me. I've gone much longer than 60 days.
And if you don't notice any significant improvements in your life, send me an email. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, like, you are wrong. Like, I've gone quite a while longer without, but
I'll send you a picture of myself eating my shorts.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
It's winter in Michigan. I'm not wearing...
They're going to find the stash? There is no stash. My mustache? No.
Wearing shorts. Let's be realistic here. Seriously, why not quit?
Here's the thing. Due to various like health reasons for me, like I've gone quite a while without doing things, right? At various points in my life, and it's like it's not been an issue. And it's like he said, let me know if it affects your life, how it changes you. It didn't change me anyway. It didn't have any effect one way or the other. It's just, it's kind of like, oh, did I like, were my socks today brown or black? Doesn't have an effect, really. It's like that.
What do you have to lose? Worst case scenario, you just miss out on like, what, 2 months of doing something you like? Wish it were that simple. Unfortunately, it's not. What we're going to be talking about here...
Well, for a lot of people, it's also like really common as a stress relief. So, you know, maybe you might get a little more stressed out. So, like, let's be real.
It's incredible.
Let's be real. In real life, sex is basically 4D porn. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Should we not be doing that either, John Doyle?
Important.
Might be an addiction. Some people have a sex addiction. It's a thing.
Be very thorough, so please listen all the way through. We're going to go through the history and evolution of this problem, the brain chemistry behind the addiction, the negative effects of that addiction on you as it pertains to your mental health, your
I don't want to do this.
sexual health, etc. And then we'll get into the negative effects that it has on society as it pertains to the family structure, women, etc. And then we'll debunk some of the most popular things claimed by the people who think that pornography is harmless or even healthy. We'll go over some of the ways that you can...
Well, I didn't say harmless.
And then we'll answer some of the most popular questions that you guys had from last time because...
I didn't say harmless, just that your logic is weird.
History suggests that we'll bounce back from the current trends in society. History suggests that, you know, eventually the hard times will create the strong men, right?
Okay. Yeah, all right. We can just write them off at this point. That's not... History doesn't work like that, dude. All right.
Maybe, but the huge difference now is that everyone is pacified, everyone is totally numb. Like, how do you prevent hard times from breeding strong men? Sedate and distract them with pornography, drugs, mass media, consumerism, etc. And it's a huge problem. And if you end up resonating with what we talk about here, I implore you to share this video with every man in your life that you care about, regardless of their age, because it is incredibly important. So do stay tuned. It is
oh my God. He's so... He's so annoying. I don't even want to watch this.
John Doyle in. Heck off, commie.
He just like hired that woman off Craigslist to light a cigarette.
Hello there, ladies and...
I'm in pain, guys. I don't know if I want to even continue. This whole video looks like it's all the same. It's just him sitting there talking. There's like nothing else. Oh my God. Doyle is scared people are going to find his work folder. Why are the advocates of strong men always the lamest examples? That's true. I don't know, man. These people have such a warped sense of reality. Their heads are so dense, it's like it's got its own gravitational pull that it like kind of warps the light wavelengths around them.
And gentlemen, welcome to Heck Off Commie. It's officially the most wonderful time of the year.
Wow.
That time of year.
Suddenly, it's a lot louder.
Where I yell at the audience about porn. Love to see it. We knew it was coming. And the idea behind it, for those unfamiliar, is basically that there's this meme called No Nut November that we just got done with a couple months ago. A little late. And the challenge is basically to go the entire month of November without masturbating, which means that a lot of guys see if they can make it a month without watching pornography. And then...
Hey, no, without masturbating is not the same as not watching pornography. Some people are into that, if you know what I mean.
They almost invariably fail, dismiss it as a stupid...
Suddenly the year is a lot worse. That was all just the intro? That could have been a full video. Yeah, no, that's just the intro, baby.
Internet challenge and then go about their business. And so I'm here trying to kind of capitalize on some of that momentum, so to speak, along with the fact that it's the new year. People are thinking of resolutions. We're over a month into the resolutions, whatever. I'm trying to explain why you should stop watching pornography. I made
fucking get to it.
a year ago, but I intentionally didn't watch it before making this to avoid repeating myself as much as possible because I want this video to be the best.
Oh, he made another video talking about it. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't have a. You're not giving off weird vibes, dude.
Best articulation of my position now, just like that video was the best articulation of my position then. That being said, I would highly recommend going back and watching the video from last year as well. I'll put a link to it in the description because tons of people found that video to be extraordinarily helpful and eye-opening. And that's actually, you know, what I kind of wanted to start out with. Like, firstly, my reasons for being against pornography have nothing to do with my religious beliefs. I was actually against pornography, believe it or not, before I really came into the faith. And I've learned that that's essentially the case.
More like you always were, you just didn't actually think about what you believed and you didn't actually define it because you never really had to think about it before.
With the vast majority of people who try to quit doing this stuff. The biggest online community that's related to this stuff did a survey on this and found that only 20% of people said that part of the reason that they were doing this, as far as like quitting it, was for their religion. Like the vast majority of people who are trying to quit are just trying to quit because they're tired of being controlled and weighed down by it. And when
I guess. Hello, Knight Rider. Welcome to the party.
Posted a video on this last year. I expected everyone to just get mad at me, but it turns out that almost everyone was on board with what we were saying. And I can't prove this, but I have it on good authority that we were the catalyst for the pornography debate that happened online about a year ago within the right, because we made a video, then coincidentally, some bigger conservatives made some videos. People started talking about it. All good stuff. It's an important conversation to have, and we have to that video a year ago. I've received hundreds of messages. Almost every country in the world. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've gotten all of these responses from people. I've had people come up to me at events with tears in their eyes talking to me about how this issue has affected them.
You're not Jordan Peterson, guy. Come on.
And there's a few reasons that I say this. Firstly, because it's indicative.
People came up to me with tears in their eyes. And then they stabbed me.
That we're heading in the right direction, that we've identified a serious problem and we're helping people solve it. That it's obviously very important despite the fact that it receives practically no attention. And secondly, so that if you're struggling with this, which frankly you probably are.
Hold on, I'm sorry. What kind of porn do y'all think sexually repressed high religious trad cons typically look into? We know the answer. It's all, oh my god. It sounds like mean to say it, but it's trans stuff. It's very common with them. Like fucking Alex Jones had a tab opened once. These people are all fucking weird, man. It's not that trans pornography is inherently weird, but these people are weird about how much they hate it and then they like sexually objectify it. Oh god, I'm sorry. Let's go.
You know that you're not alone and that there's no shame in this at all.
They came up to me with tears in their eyes. Yeah, I would cry if I saw John Doyle too. Yeah, me
people
too.
On the right have this attitude of, well, you're on your own, bucko. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Your problems aren't my problems.
Jordan Peterson!
Snowflake. Sure, there's truth to that. Ultimately, you're responsible for yourself. But that aside, there's nothing conservative about not caring about people or not helping them. Conservatism, properly defined, is that which conserves the traditional American society, and that actually requires helping and caring about your neighbors, your family, your community, etc.
No, conservatism is just objecting to whatever changes are going to be made. And in American conservatism, it's often I don't like black people. How can we keep them down?
So I will reiterate that there's no shame in pornography addiction, especially considering that what it is quite literally a hijacking of your biological wiring as a man in order to neuroplastically rewire your brain into addiction, all for their profit and ultimately for the destruction of our society. The people running things have hijacked and exploited our biological drives to pursue.
I mean, animals masturbate too, so I don't know about this.
Food and sex to where we're now fat and addicted to pornography, and that's made us weak. They've made a lot of money doing that. And
is it the Jews? Because there's a subreddit. You know, there's a subreddit, Forwards from Grandma. There's another subreddit called Forwards from Clanma, which is like just the most like horrible racist stuff that some people post on the internet. And just an example of this is like, oh, the Jews make us want to watch pornography. There's a fun thing that I've heard of, oh god, they used to be really big, like right around 2016, was that it was the Jews that were making interracial cuck porn because that's what they want to happen to the white race. I don't believe that. That's what these people were saying in the 2016 election. It was a wild place back then, okay? It still is. And that John Doyle's argument is very similar to that.
Get into the reasons that drugs such as methamphetamine and heroin are so powerfully addictive.
One half is 4chan, one half is Facebook. I think it's all Facebook. I'm sorry, he started talking about heroin. What?
Money doing that. And as we'll get into, the reasons that drugs such as methamphetamine and heroin are so powerfully addictive is that they hijack the precise mechanisms that are designed to regulate sex in the reward center of our brain. In other words, the reason that drugs are so addicting is because they hijack the mechanisms in your brain that are used to regulate sexual desire and co-opt them to compel you to crave more of that particular drug. So technically speaking, on a biological level, drugs are addictive because they exploit your sex.
I mean, couldn't you make this argument about conservative videos, conservative media? That a lot of it kind of makes you feel happy. A lot of it kind of gives you some dopamine in your head, so you want to watch more. So when you watch Tucker Carlson or John Doyle, not that these two should be compared, but when you watch them, it makes you feel kind of happy, and it hijacks the reward center in your brain. It makes you feel like you're actually accomplishing something, when in reality, you're just giving yourself brain cancer.
Drive, so to speak. So you can understand the cognitive implications of this, pornography, as something that will also exploit your sex drive more understandably, because it exists as something that is an unnaturally exaggerated version of something that you are programmed to find irresistible. These are called supernormal stimuli, which comes from renowned biologist Nicholas Timbergen, who was also a Nobel laureate, and then it is made available to you conveniently and in limitless supply, something that you would never find in nature. There is abundant novelty to what types you can access, and this all causes us to chronically overconsume and resultantly reconfigure our brains to try their best to adapt to this as we become
Man, he just says a lot of words without getting to the point.
Addicted. Drugs are dangerous because they exploit the mechanisms in your brain that exist to regulate your sex drive, and this is incredibly addicting. And then the same thing happens when you have pornography in the way that we do now. It does practically the same thing to your brain, and we'll go through this step by step, but this is why even heroin addicts will tell you that shooting up feels like an orgasm when you talk to one, I don't know your circle.
No, it's because heroin feels fucking amazing, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
And this is also why the brain scans of drug addicts are very similar to the brain scans of pornography users, but not addicts. That's what they'll say. But the truth is that there are basically two types of pornography users.
Say?
Those who will become addicted and those who already are addicted. And then within the latter category, you have those who know they're addicted and those who don't know or perhaps refuse to accept that they're addicted. And we'll...
hard disagree. Not everybody becomes an addict. Some people have different... Some people are more like naturally resistant to it than others. That doesn't mean that you should like start doing meth because you might be resistant to it. It just means there's just varying levels of it.
You know, get into that, the neurochemistry behind that.
Like, here's a fun thing. When I went through some health stuff, I was on opioids for like 3 months straight, and then I stopped, and then that was it. I didn't have any problem stopping. Some people are on opioids for a month and then they become addicted, and then they got to get more. It's just different levels of resistance. That's all.
Shortly to explain kind of what's going on in your brain, but I say this now to really just emphasize that there's no shame in pornography addiction because your brain is just simply not.
He doesn't want to show us, but on his laptop right there, he's got, he has like, he has some mega tentacle hentai going on. I can tell.
not capable of handling.
Look at his face. Look at that face. You can tell. I know someone who watches tentacle hentai when I see it.
Handling that level of stimuli. Now, that being said, there is great shame in evangelically pretending that it doesn't exist. The so-called experts, the sex-positive experts. These are people who say things like, this claim has been debunked. This study says otherwise. And we'll address the most popular arguments from these people at the end. And by the way, I have
Dude, you're like 12 minutes in and you're not getting to the fucking point. Come on.
Anecdotes that can be corroborated thousands of times over online from people who have experienced this.
I have anecdotes. All right, dude.
This stuff. But I also have lots of data to back up what we're...
You know, this one time when I went walking downtown, I saw Hillary Clinton. And you know what she did? There was this stray puppy on the ground that walked up to her. And she looked at the puppy and her laser eyes lit up and she zapped him. And then there was just ash. She murdered the puppy with her lazy eyes. Hillary Clinton did that. It's just an anecdote, but you know, I could find several thousand people on the internet who would corroborate that.
We're talking about here. But for now, what I'll say is this. I don't listen to degenerates. I just don't. And the reason for that is very simple. And it's that as humans...
Oh. Okay. Well, you're one to talk. Why are we listening to you then? Got him!
Human beings in the pursuit of virtue and truth, we can only reach the truth if we conquer and have total control over our desires. Otherwise, we will view everything through the lens of our desires since we do not have control over them, but rather they have control over us.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like hedonism as a philosophy. Wow.
And given that sexual desire is the most powerful desire that we have as human beings, I refuse to listen to degenerate people argue in favor of degenerate things.
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, you're right. He did just say, there's no shame in being addicted 30 seconds ago. All right. I don't want to listen to degenerates. That's why if you're a gay man, I'm not going to listen to you. Hey, Mr. Doyle, I think your house is on fire. I'm not listening to you, you degenerate!
Because what is very likely happening is that they have a proclivity towards whatever aids in or alleviates the guilt from that desire, and that ultimately distorts the truth. You wouldn't listen to a heroin addict talk about why heroin isn't actually a bad thing. You shouldn't listen to a porn addict argue the same. Their minds are corrupted by...
Well, you can answer this without giving... Okay, hold on. There's a point in this, in that someone who is addicted may not be able to give you the most rational arguments, because sometimes it's not them giving the argument, it's the addiction speaking. But that's a little different than saying, I don't listen to degenerates like a fucking Nazi, dude. What the fuck?
Their desires, and they are rationalizing it. This is the part where...
Also, look at this cowlick on the back of his head. There's a little bit of hair sticking up. That's funny. I just noticed it. Look at it bobble around.
Their minds are corrupted by their desires. And they are rationalizing it. This is the part where
this is kind of like when you hear like I think it's good that in the United States, for the most part, public smoking is not allowed in places, pretty much everywhere. Yeah, you can't smoke in the restaurant. You can't smoke outside, where people are walking in. Can't do it. You got to be X amount of feet away from the building to smoke. I think that's a good thing. And then you hear some people are like, oh, that's horrible. Oh, you people want to take away all the places we can smoke from us. And it's like, oh, are you a smoker? Yeah. Well, there we fucking go, huh?
Relevant streamer pauses the video and says... is John Doyle really comparing heroin addiction to pornography addiction? All the only couple thousand viewers...
I did that earlier, though, so, I don't know what this is. My God, that face. Holy shit.
Watch me pretend to stare blankly at the screen before looking at the camera like Jim from The Office. No, I'm not actually comparing the effects of heroin to the effects of pornography, because the effects of pornography have far worse implications on our society.
Yeah, if you're a fucking fascist.
We'll get into that. But even that in itself...
Nah, we'll get into that. I'm making a claim. We'll get into that. We've been here 13 minutes, dude. You haven't given us You haven't given us reasons to back it up.
That's my point, because there's this subculture of these really gross and vulgar leftists who exist online to let me live in their head rent-free.
Oh, is that what this is? I don't know.
Do these group
people, this was recommended by a couple people, so...
therapy sessions where the fattest and the grossest one tries to bully me, which is impossible, by the way, because you can't bully me. You just can't. I'm too epic.
That... the way he delivered that line, I don't believe it. The way he delivered that line is like, there's some crippling insecurities going on here. You know, when he finished recording this, I just know. It's like, let me open up my tentacle porn collection. He got stuffed in a locker at school. Probably.
You're an addict. You're literally an addict who's coping. And they're so corrupted by their desires that they simply...
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm the one who's coping. Well, he said, like, the fattest and ugliest making fun of him, and I'm neither, so I don't... Maybe it's somebody else. Hey, John Doyle, I understand. I understand what it's like. Life must have sucked for you. It's cool, but you didn't have to take a hard turn into this territory. You could just, like, grow up.
They can't imagine living without that occupying their consciousness because they're a slave. And so they'll say stuff because I'm a proponent of sexual morality. I detest hookup culture. And so they'll say, John Doyle's just mad because girls don't like him. He needs to get laid. And you look at these guys like, really?
I didn't say anything about that, though.
You and I go out to a bar or something, you think girls are going to be coming up to me like, oh my God, who's your friend over there? No, you're coping. Like,
yeah, if you and me walk into a bar, I imagine most women won't even approach you, actually. I mean, so I imagine we're sitting at a bar, right? Okay. We're gonna talk to people. I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? What's your name?" And he'll be like, "Let me tell you about how pornography addiction is destroying the West." Who are people in the bar gonna want to talk to? Me or him? Right?
Maybe, man to man, maybe you're picking up girls that are like high threes at best. You think you're winning somehow?
I'm not even. Oh God, now he's gonna talk about rating women. I wasn't even talking about that. I was just like a standard typical person is gonna be like, John Doyle, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm gonna go hang out with Celiacattack. He's kind of cool. Like he's not talking about pornography addiction destroying the West. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Actually, I kind of feel bad for these guys because it's like, it's one thing if you're a good-looking guy, you're charismatic.
Oh, but then he says he's going to feel bad about me. Who's coping?
Like you decide to exploit that to go hook up with a bunch of attractive girls. I still think that's wrong, but like I can understand.
And okay, 14 minutes in, like he hasn't gotten to how pornography is destroying the culture. It's just him, or destroying the country. It's just rambling. Oh yeah.
Whereas.
Oh, yeah, also, like, Make America Great Again hat. Please, if we're gonna hang out at a bar, Mr. Doyle, and I hope we do one day. I would love to hang out with you at a bar. Please, bring your MAGA hat with you. Please. Like, at this point, for most people, I think it's fair to say this is essentially akin to having a swastika armband. So, please, bring it with you.
These guys are hooking up with like these gross, overweight feminist types, and it's like, it can't be because you think they're hot. So it's just because you are so addicted to lust that you are willing to resort to hooking up with girls that look like defective Pokemon to fulfill that desire. I just can't respect that. You have no
what the fuck?
self-control. That's why you're fat.
This is like the Steven Crowder political compass episode all over again. Man, this is worse. Yeah, this is worse. At least Steven Crowder like tried to like answer the questions. John Doyle is like, I don't know what this is.
That's why you hook up with gross women. You have group therapy sessions during which you and your other degenerates all get together and try to bully me because it makes you feel less guilty about your behavior and lifestyle.
See, some people are like, why are you calling people you disagree with Nazis? This isn't fair. You call everyone you disagree with Nazis. And it's like, Well, have you listened to this guy and what he's saying? This is not exactly what I would call a well-adjusted, regular individual.
And it makes you feel less threatened by me and the boys, so don't care, didn't ask. Plus,
gotcha,
you're an addict.
dude.
You don't like me, you don't like my
Plus,
audience, you don't like America, you don't like Jesus.
Okay.
Because we're all epic, and you're not, and you're insecure about it. But it's okay. We're gonna try to help you out too.
We're epic! I'm epic! He cried as he shrunk into the distance, screaming and crying on his knees. So does he mean, like, looks like a Pokemon? Like what? Like blue-haired feminists? Like, is this what he means? Oh God. Well, I don't like that look. Man, some of these people look great. What are you talking about? Ah! Billy Eyelash. And I don't know who these others are. Dude, is this what he means by failed Pokemon who looks like fat, who are fat, and we're hooking up because my standards are low? John Doyle, I think you're jealous. I'm sorry. I think you're jealous. Oh my God, look at this one. Holy shit. Look at the girl in the middle here. That looks so fucking cool. Oh my God. Like, okay, I usually don't feel so super nervous about like approaching people and like introducing myself or whatever, but like, whoo, I would want to walk up to this person and be like, "Hi, I love you."
Because at the end of the day, we still care about you. So let's jump into it. We have data, but keep in mind this problem is becoming so accelerated.
He keeps saying this, but he's not getting
widespread
to it.
That we're not going to be able to wait a few decades to decide that it's terrible. And the way that we did with cigarettes, we have to actually act quickly. And so, you know, one of the first things we mentioned was that 98% of men have access to pornography within the last 6 months, 80% just within the last week.
Yes, I am one of them.
That means that statistically 4 out of the last 5 guys that you've spoken to are watching pornography at least once a week. That's where we're at now, roughly speaking. Let's talk about where we were. We used to be like a decade ago. We're focusing on guys younger than 30, by the way, since our brains have been the most harmed by this since they caught us when our brains were the most plastic. So in 2008, the percentage of boys who had been exposed to pornography before they were 13 was 14.4%. In 2011, it jumped to 48.7%. In 2017, there was a study done on people ages 15 to 29 that found that 69% of males had been exposed to pornography at age 13 or younger, and also that virtually all of the men by this point had viewed pornography at some point. So the average age at which boys are exposed to pornography is decreasing each year, but it's widely regarded to be 11 years old, which means that if we assume a normal distribution, 50% of boys are exposed to pornography when or before they are 11 years old. To help
That's pretty young. I don't know about that.
help you realize how utterly insane and dangerous that is, here is a stock photo of an 11-year-old boy. Another thing to note is that of online pornography consumption done by minors, fully 22% of that is done by children younger than 10. That's almost a quarter of it. In 2008, the percentage of adolescents who viewed pornography every day was 5.2%. By 2011, it was over 13%.
I don't know if I believe these numbers, but maybe.
2017, 39% of males.
Also, isn't there data that's like people are going through puberty at earlier ages now? I don't know what would be causing that.
Between 15 and 29 viewed it daily. So the trend suggests that each year more people are watching it more often and at a younger age. And there is nothing to suggest that the trends are going to reverse or halt themselves. That's not good. And the problem that we have isn't exactly pornography in general. Like there was a time in this country when
Okay, no, hold on. You need to associate why this is a bad thing. Or maybe he will. Let's hear him out.
the best case scenario, especially for young men, was like the Sears catalog, maybe a Playboy that you paid way too much for and then buried in your closet. But we have to understand that what we're dealing with now is tremendously different than that. And it is something that we've never had in the history of the world, let alone the history of our society. And for the last decade or so, we have been witnessing the effects of it. And a lot of people might think that I'm just like out of touch or something. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I had a son and my wife was like, I caught our son and his friends looking at a crumpled Polaroid photograph of a boob behind the garage, I would just laugh. I really wouldn't care. Women just tend to feel negatively about this type of stuff as a general rule. They're not exactly wrong in that.
That's some hardcore projection about your own, like, personal family raising you. What the fuck?
Come back to that later, but the point is that you had magazines, maybe pictures, still images. And
okay, we've been doing this for 43 minutes. I don't think we want to continue. Because, like, he's not really getting to any of it. Do we really want to keep going?
Then you had a final...
We're 17 minutes into his video. It's 1 hour and 42 minutes long.
Amount, then maybe you had some X-rated movies, but you still have to go to adult bookstores to watch clips, those weird theaters that play them. Not exactly a comfortable experience. Then maybe, you know, you've got VHS tapes, then you actually have to go get VHS tapes, you have to buy it. It's a weird experience. You have to watch it. You can't just like skip around. You can only watch one at a time unless you have multiple televisions with multiple VHS players or the late night cable channels, but even then you actually have to watch the whole thing. Just had for to load. You couldn't just consume it a click, and if it speeds up, it's pornography. And society basically teed itself up to collapse. And here we are about 15 years later dealing with the consequences of that. High-speed internet and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. But yeah, kind of a weird timeline to go through, I guess, but it's important to what we're about to get into with the addiction component because...
They didn't explain any of it.
It is exposure to our children who really...
Okay, you know what? I've had enough of you, John Doyle. You are bad at making arguments. We're done with this. I don't want to waste any more time. It's been like 45 minutes of this crap. Alright, enough of that. We're done with that. We could do other stuff that's much more
in a world.
Shh. We could do other stuff that's much more like happy or, you know, snappy. I didn't mean to rhyme like that. You see, all we need is a little push for society to fall apart. That is not a good Joker voice. What is this? Oh my god. Well, I don't want to look at that right now. Freedom tune. Do you want me to die? Respond to this shit on your next stream, JJ said. Alright, let's take a look. Actually, this one looks short. Hold on a second. Someone shared this one. Hold on. Someone shared this one. Antifa and BLM attack conservatives from PRAGERU. Let's take a look. The following content has been identified by the YouTube community as inappropriate or offensive for some audiences. What the fuck? Oh shit. Are we just watching people like getting in fights? Hold on. I thought this was gonna be them like saying things. Hold on. Who shared this? Jade. I think you've been here a while. It's just a compilation of fight videos. This is stupid. I could do this. Oh wait, hold on. And then Dave Rubin shows up. Really?
Tolerance. It's a word we hear a lot these days. So
holy shit.
Let's define it. Tolerance is the ability to live against.
It's just like they're just citing themselves randomly. They're really trying to get mileage out of that Dave Rubin bit. Alright. Well, that was horrifying. Alright, fine. We'll take a look at Freedom Tunes. think it's been a little while since I did a Freedom Tunes thing, so right there. What do we want to do? Canceling homeless people? What? I feel like, hold on though, I feel like a lot of his newer stuff is just like fucking insane. Like the brain cancer has reached a later stage and it's just like incoherent garbage. The older stuff, or at least when you sort by most popular, a lot of the older stuff is like a few years ago. And you can tell there's like some sort of an effort, but it's still pretty bad. But like the newer stuff is just even more incoherent. Jordan Peterson is the Red Skull? I don't know. I don't know, man. Has he not done a thing responding to Vosh yet? The Woke Guide to Gender. That's what Vosh did, but I don't want to do it. Because Vosh did it, I don't want to do it. Jordan Peterson is the Red Skull. Well, I'll take a look, I guess. What are the most popular stuff? Anything with arguments? Okay. Free birth control. Hold on. My head hurts. My neck hurts. What am I doing? Stretch. Okay, let's take a look, shall we? Well, Jordan Peterson is the Red Skull. It's probably the crippling porn addiction that causes your neck pain. Listen, man. You can have my hentai when you pry it from my cold dead hands, okay? Okay. Marvel Comics author, blah blah, compares Jordan Peterson to the Red Skull latest issue of Captain America. I guess? What the hell? Okay.
Well, if it wasn't Captain America.
Would have been funny if he did like a, well, like German Jordan Peterson.
All
Okay, something to think of for the next time.
caught up in my trap. What kind of sick plot are you hatching? I'm going to tell kids to clean their rooms and make 5-year plans. Just like Hitler. I've already...
That was Stalin, actually. 5-year plans.
brainwashed my first...
And Jordan Peterson's done significantly more than telling people to clean their rooms, my guy.
Subject.
I've cleaned my room and repaired my relationship with my father.
Yeah, okay, no. Jordan Peterson got famous because he said Bill C-16 is going to be forcing compelled speech because I don't want to have to be able to say people's correct trans pronouns because it's weird. Also, trans ideology is honestly comparable to Mao. The philosophy that's guiding their utterances is the same philosophy. Also, lobsters have serotonin, humans have serotonin, antidepressants, therefore work on lobsters. Therefore, hierarchy is natural, and we shouldn't resist it because lobsters have hierarchies. These a little different than cleaning your room, bucko.
No, you're actually kind of helping people. Huh.
Clean your room! Except
he didn't help people, and the rest of the internet has to deal with all these fucking Jordan Peterson cultists for the last, 5 years. And they're like, actually, Jordan Peterson's not transphobic. You're taking him out of context. You need to read all of these books and watch all these lectures. And it's like, well, I did read these books. I did watch the lectures. And now they just block me and they don't debate me on it anymore. So, like, okay.
your responsibilities! Stop blaming everyone else for your problems! You're right! I'm gonna clean my room and repair my relationship with my father!
If only it were that simple, but I'm afraid I can't undo dementia.
Yeah! Hello? Dad?
Wasn't Captain America's dad, like, dead? He was an orphan.
So fast. We're here to stop you, Red Skull.
Guys, wait! Red Skull's lectures are actually really interesting. You should listen to this.
Yeah, and this is now this kind of sounds like it's saying, Nazis have some good points. Freedom Tunes calls himself a libertarian.
It's like you have all these people who think existence is corrupt and that the West is a tyrannical patriarchy. It's absurd.
Hulk, smash patriarchy!
No! Hulk no smash patriarchy. Hulk smash own character flaws and set life in order if Hulk want to make anything of Hulk self.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna set your life in order, patriarchy. Never mind, there's like, never mind that most women have to worry about sexual harassment, being sexually assaulted in places where they really shouldn't have to be worrying about it. Never mind that the numbers are like, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people have to deal with it at some point. 1 in 4, 1 in 5 women have to deal with it at some point in their lives. Oh, there's no patriarchy. Oh, it's no big deal. It's your fault. You gotta set your life in order.
Hulk! Have own preconception smashed. Hulk! Call Dad!
Where can we see your lectures?
And you think you understand yourself, but
oh my god.
You can't. It's like you're far too complex for that. What are you? You're a chimpanzee full of snakes.
Chimpanzee full of snakes.
I don't. Is that a reference to his schizophrenia and what was it called? Maps of meaning? Incoherent trash, dude. Like I said, you could have done better, but I know, lazy. Oh look, comment from Michaela Peterson. OMG, amazing, amazing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she tried to kill him, so I don't know why it's so highly upvoted. Alright, that was trash. JP fans are seriously the most fragile people I've ever had the displeasure of interacting with. Yeah, they really are. Some guy I was debating actually said I should listen to Jordan Peterson. He's very informative. That's funny because I've argued with people over that, and then I start actually citing Jordan Peterson, and it's like, this guy's full of shit. And then they block me and stop responding after they realize that I have listened to Jordan Peterson and I do know what his arguments are. And when they like to say, oh, you're taking him out of context, and it's very obvious that I understand what he's saying, then they're like, fuck, run away. Yeah, that's why they don't want to come on stream and talk to me anymore, or ever, because they realize they're wrong. I don't even want to edit that. We're just gonna upload that. Maybe we won't even upload that because fuck you. Freedom Tunes, not you guys in the chat. He also called Palestine apes and supported Israel. When did he say that? That's news to me. That's completely new to me. Hold on, I want to see what this one is. Alright, we'll start recording. So, Freedom Tunes has a video here. I actually wanted to see free birth control. Free is in quotation marks. Okay, let's take a look. Know the guy I was debating? Oh, I would want to look at that. Can you send him my way and make him debate me? That would be hilarious. Unless it's just like some random like Reddit or Twitter argument. It sucks. I had the thought, there are some like crazy people I went to high school with. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I had the thought of like reaching out to some of them and talking to them like, hey, would you like to come on stream and discuss politics with me, or discuss some specific policy? But maybe it's maybe because I went to high school with them, maybe it's too personal, maybe I shouldn't do that. But I had the thought like it would be fun because there's some wild fucking people I went to school with, you know? There was I remember one guy who was like, I wrote an essay in college about why eugenics is actually fine. You know, that guy might be interesting to talk to. I imagine he's fucking insane, but it might be interesting. You know, just some people like that. All right, free birth control. What you got?
Who are you? I'm an analogy for...
Wow, this already seems old. 2016? All right.
Government. Good analogy. Pay for my birth control. What? Do it. Her and her friends are the majority of the voting population now, so she gets to do this. Why is her contraception my responsibility? Are you
What the fuck is going on?
serious? He's taking away my reproductive freedom. What? Stop taking away her reproductive freedom, Seamus! What are you talking about? I am so sick of you
I don't know if you can like make like a crazy hypothetical and then go, what are you talking about? A crazy hypothetical straw man, and then respond by being flabbergasted at it. Like, you're the one who made this hypothetical straw man in the first place. You're the one who's made a weird thing that we don't understand.
Wing bullies pushing everyone else around. Yes, Seamus! I'm not a right-winger. One does not have to be a right-winger to realize your sex life is not my financial concern.
You are a right-winger, dude. Come on. Wait, nobody fucking argues this anymore. If anyone in the comments wants to try to argue it, well, let me tell you. You're wrong, baby. Haha! Nice try. Come back again. Try harder next time.
You're so anti-woman. It's healthcare. Her healthcare is also not my responsibility.
There we go. Yeah, so you are right wing. Like, bruh.
Sexist for you not to pay for women's birth control when healthcare plans cover men's Viagra. That's a terrible comparison. Viagra isn't birth control, it's a drug for sexual potency. The more accurate comparison would be male contraception.
I don't know about that. A more accurate comparison. There's not exactly an accurate comparison because, get this, buddy, these people never bring this up. Female birth control is used to treat a wide range of problems and symptoms and diseases, not just preventing birth, not just preventing conception. There's a lot of conditions that are there are a lot of conditions that are treated by birth control. Hold on, let me pull this up. Birth control medications. Alrighty. Birth control medications uses. Hold on. Let me pull this up. All right, what are the benefits of birth control pills? Right. Protect you 24/7. Yes. Help regulate your menstrual cycle. Can be helpful for women with regular or heavy periods. Yes. There are also okay, skip down a bit. There are also benefits depending on the type of pill. Combination pills may provide some protection against acne. Ectopic pregnancy. I don't know what that is. I don't want to. Thinning bones, non-cancerous breast growths. endometrial and ovarian cancer, anemia, heavy periods, severe menstrual cramps. Yes. There are others like certain hormone imbalances, certain conditions like yeah, polycystic ovary syndrome. That's a horrible one that I've heard of. This one is fucking awful to deal with. Anyway, so you know, it's not just preventing birth, preventing conception. All right.
They're called condoms, and guess what? The government doesn't pay for them, and you don't see me sitting here.
Actually, a lot of local and regional governments do pay for condoms. You can often get them for free at certain places just by asking. Certain free health clinics.
Whining about it. I mean, you do see me sitting here whining about a lot of stuff.
And condoms are, by nature of what they are, condoms are a whole lot cheaper. He's trying to draw a comparison between the two, but it's not an exactly analogous one-to-one comparison because female birth control is used to treat a wide range of diseases. Condoms just used for one thing. Well, used to prevent pregnancy and prevent the transmission of diseases, but used during sexual intercourse. Meanwhile, you can be using birth control for reasons beyond sexual intercourse. Condoms, unless you're making balloon animals, you don't really have any other reason for them.
Male contraception. They're called condoms, and guess what? The government doesn't pay for them.
And the argument here is that, I guess the better argument should be, you know, these things should be covered. You know, more importantly than that, like, oh, my pills are over there. I have pills that prevent me from shitting my guts out. You know, it's kind of nice, but they should be cheaper. Okay.
You don't see me sitting here whining about it. I mean, you do see me sitting here whining about a lot of stuff, just about every week, actually.
Yeah, it is satisfying to see him get beaten up. You're right.
Not about that.
Look, would you rather pay for her birth control or pay for her child when she's on welfare?
Oh, you have high hopes for this one. Yeah! You're so irresponsible.
No, it's a fair question, though, because, like, wouldn't you? If it's a simple option, if these people are, look, some people, I'm sorry, some people are chronically poor, right? Not necessarily their fault, it's okay, but if the option is they're going to be on welfare for and have a lot of kids and be on welfare, or they get birth control. It is a simple question, right?
Either pay for birth control.
His response is you have high hopes for this one, but like, I mean, wouldn't you rather it be one way or the other?
Or you'll have to pay for a child.
Also, it's like, it's probably better to pay for birth control versus abortion. Like in simplicity, right? Like the process of someone going through an abortion, even if there's like no you know rules about it or anything, it's like it's still it's still kind of a hell of a process to go through. Wouldn't it be better just, okay, here's your pill, you take this every day, no problem, much easier.
It's simple. Wait, hold on, say that again. Either pay for birth control or you'll have to pay for a child. Okay, now say that while holding a mirror. Either pay for birth control or you'll have to pay for a child. Are you suggesting I should be responsible for myself?
Oh my god, this is so fucking stupid. The obvious criticism that people make is not about this, it's about that a lot of medications are fucking expensive and inaccessible to the poorest parts of the country, to the poorest parts of America. You should know this. Most countries have some form of healthcare that's cheaper than this. Not every country has universal healthcare, but guess what? A lot of healthcare is cheaper in other countries than the United States. We're like the most uniquely worst, most expensive country. This is a problem unique to us. That's the argument. But now he's like, you should have self-responsibility. No, bitch, it shouldn't be expensive here in the first place.
Or at the very least, can't use government to force others to take care of me?
Okay, here's another thought. I also can't go to other countries to get medicine, or at least medication. Not like regularly. I can't get it shipped to me. It's cheaper to go to another country and get a surgical procedure done than it is to get it here. Like, it's cheaper to fucking buy a flight and fucking stay there for a month than it is to get it done here. Like, what the fuck, dude? Come on.
How do you do that? I mean, what if I can't afford birth control? Is this really something I'm being asked to explain? You don't have sex. How do you
Oh, fuck off, dude.
do that?
Well, I mean, I don't have sex with anyone because I'm Catholic.
And no one has...
No, you don't have sex with anyone because nobody wants to have sex with you! Because I'm Catholic! Yeah, okay, that's the reason, buddy.
Sex with him because he's an animator.
And a libertarian.
That's true.
Sex with him.
Hold on.
Do that.
Well, I mean, I don't have sex with anyone because
Let's hear it again.
And no one has sex with him because he's an animator.
And a libertarian.
True!
You never got his money.
Don't worry, we'll just take out a loan. That's mostly how I get my money anyway. Someone in the future will pay for it.
But who from the future will pay for it?
All the kids you'll end up having.
That was really bad. That's it? That was also, like, poorly animated, like, even by his own standards.
I'm not reading that.
Read it, damn it!
I, Seamus Coughlin, through my own free will, publicly apologize for my misogynistic comments. Please send your money to patreon.com/freedomtunes.
Nah, give your money to me, celiacattack, baby! It's much better not going to that piece of shit. Oh, God. Man, you could do better than that. That sucked. Should I actually address the arguments people are making, or should I just make up my own arguments and argue against those? Ha ha ha. Alright, dude. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's that. Alright, we're done. We're gonna play Black Mesa now. Maybe. Or we might end the stream. I'm leaning towards a little Black Mesa. I'm leaning towards ending the stream. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Do I want to carry on? Nah, we can end the stream. I'll be back. Well, I'll be back. All right. Ow. Damn, I hit my hand on something. All right. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to end the stream now. Okay? We're going to come back later in the week, yeah? Yeah, all right. And later throughout this week, we are gonna finish Black Mesa. How about that? I want to do some more streams maybe and finish Black Mesa. Maybe. I had an interview for something on Friday, so I may be starting a new job soon. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna get called back on Monday, so we'll find out. I have a feeling I didn't get it, but I never know. I had a feeling that the interviewer was a Republican. Yes. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. What else? Yeah. So, the two things is, one, it may be nice to have a different day job. What job? Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to doxed. But the job that I've been doing otherwise is it's been outside stuff and it's been kind of wearing on me. So it would be better to have this job is inside. So that might be better. But also this job may require more hours out of me. So we'll see what happens. At any rate, I may do some more content that's like live streaming and less editing, because the editing takes a lot of time. Editing takes a lot of time, and it kind of saps my mental, a lot of time and a lot of mental energy. How about that? Editing does a lot of that. Also, I don't want to watch myself again. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So it seems like the content that I've done that's less edited does just as well, sometimes better. So we'll see what happens. I might just do more of that, Vosh style, Tim Pool style. But hey, if it works, it works. All right. Kick ass. Hope it works out. Well, we'll see. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. It's been great. It's been fun. Probably try to do some more if this works out. If this works out, then I'll probably be doing more regular streams. How about that? That might be a better thing to do, because I looked at some of the big other streamers, and I kind of wrote it down, how often does this person stream? And it's wow, some of the big streamers do it every day or every weekday, very regularly. So I don't know, maybe we could do something closer to that, I guess, because the edited stuff just takes so much work, it really does. I like the editing for certain media and less for others. What do you mean by that? For examples. I don't know. What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to edit PRAGERU stuff, if nothing else. Those specifically get editing, because that's kind of what I've been focusing on. PRAGERU, sorry I'm zonked out. Hey, I get you. Me too. Alright. PRAGERU and some other stuff similarly like PRAGERU. And then for longer things, there's no edit. Either no editing or just a little bit of editing. Something I did with one of the last uploads, I think, I did a little bit of editing for the first minute, and then the rest of it was no editing. And that seemed to work. Or I feel like that worked. which one? Was it Candace Owens' video I did?
I'm going to breed a racehorse.
I feel like that might be like a happy middle, where I do, where like the first minute or so of the video has editing. Yeah, it was the Candace Owens video. So the first minute or so of the video has like some snappy editing. Hey, get your attention. And then the rest of it is like stream segment, little editing, have fun. I guess I'll keep doing the Patreon edits, of course, but that's different. I like video essays. I get you. Couldn't handle watching myself, but handling my own body half the time. Yeah. I like, you know, some video essays are fun to do and fine. It's just like, holy shit, they take a lot of work to get done, you know? Like, oh god, oh my god. Some of these longer essays, we're talking hundreds of hours. Like, fuck. And it's like, I got other shit to do. Anyway, that's fun. All right, thanks for hanging out. Yep. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Have fun. See you, well, see you in the next one, I guess. Bye-bye. See how this phone call gets, and then we'll, depending on how it goes, we might get going. Might be more, might be less. We'll see what happens.